Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
That's an insane thing to say.
It's
so funny.
Specific. It's like, God damn it. So, what's got your gears going, bud?
So, welcome to the Irrelevant and Illiterate podcast. I'm Lair. This is Ant. This week we got Tommy Meatsock and Dennis. And I thought I pitched the idea. You know, you guys every week do this podcast and have for the past couple years.
It's true.
I know Ant wants to do some stuff.
We'll let him cook in a minute.
No, I'm good. Please,
Yeah.
I'm just.
You're about to let the dog off the chain?
No. I prefer not to.
I'm back on my.
It's hard to get him back on it. Yeah.
I'm off. So
Is that what your fucking problem's been?
Shout out to my boy Chipper. He caught me spiraling a few times.
Shout out to Chipper.
What a mensch.
But
you.
you know, this podcast, you have an audience, and we know nothing really about you guys.
Aw.
So I thought what we could do was get a little bit of a background this week.
Okay.
On you. Now, I know the first time you met was at Tommy's benefit that you threw from.
Yes.
For him.
That
But,
Dennis threw by himself, yeah.
but
Wait, Dennis never met him before the benefit?
no. That's the first time they met.
No.
Sounds kind of scammy to me.
It was a Ponzi scheme. It was a Ponzi scheme with mosh parts, yeah.
But I guess how did this relate? Like, I want to go into more on like each of you, but like, how did this relationship develop?
You want to take this?
Wait,
Sure.
I did
Like
not know I was been walking into some gay shit. What is happening?
Just wait till I start blowing.
Yeah.
How did this relationship?
Dude,
No,
it's not my fault you don't read the text.
I'm driving. I'm a bad enough driver to begin with. No, I'm just kidding. This will be fun.
But he's
good for
not.
the
Yeah.
audience.
So Tommy got his brains beaten in and had to have a benefit show. So just like if it's a beating is the theme, I was like, oh well, I can just beat a dead horse and bring up a band that I haven't been in for many years. But
You don't have to
afterwards,
do like a shtick.
but
like a joke
afterwards-
thing, like
yeah,
you can just
okay,
be, you
fair,
can, you
fair,
can, you
fair.
can be like, you know,
Yeah, I don't have-
genuine about
okay.
this.
I think he honestly texted me. It was probably like
I think we followed each other on Instagram.
yeah, and it was nothing. But we were just like posting like stand-up clips and shit like that.
I think one of us or the other noticed that we would share a stand-up clip and we were like, oh, that's not just like, you know, the Dave Chappelle special that just
Yeah,
came
yeah,
out.
it
Like,
was
that's-
very.
like that's a comic.
It's
Okay.
very. It was very
And then-
deep cut.
And then the
Yeah.
other one we replied to, they were like, yo, that was good. Or then we start sending each other various things like that.
And-
or memes
So
even.
you started to slowly figure out that you had the same bad taste
Yeah.
in comedy.
Yes, yes,
That's
precisely
exactly right.
Yeah.
And
This is why
cop,
Larry
bad
brought
cop.
me.
That's
This is why Larry
exactly-
brought me.
Good cop, bad
and you
cop.
know me is like as soon as I find something I like, I want to go fucking. I bug people.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you gotta check this out. Oh, you like that? Check out these 17 albums or these 17 comedians. And it's like it's annoying, but and he was actually like, checked them out.
Okay.
And you're like, oh, or else he was like, oh yeah, I know that guy. I like that one bit he did about ... And then we're like, out of nowhere, like we had just been doing that for like a year or so, maybe
Something
obviously
like that.
more.
That tracks.
He's like, yo, we should do a podcast. He was like, no, he was doing a podcast called Thank You for Your Services.
Yeah, I remember that.
And he was like, yo, come do the podcast. Like, cause like he said he had listened to me on other podcasts. He's like, come do it, you'll have fun. I was like, yeah, sure. I went.
What are these podcasts? What podcasts were you on?
Ill Street News was
Did
one.
Ill Street News.
I know
I
you did the Rock Bottom one.
did the
And
Rock Bottom
Raising Hell.
podcast.
Is Rock Bottom the
band.
The Doylestown?
Yeah.
Yeah, but they did like a podcast with just 4 of the guys ran the pod.
Was
It
Mr.
was-
Doylestown one of them?
Yep.
Yeah,
He
he's
actually
funny shit.
He
And then
steered the
Jordan-
ship.
Yeah,
Nice.
And
He seems
Jordan
like-
just would watch Phillies games.
yeah.
He would
yeah.
be on there, but
And you would just. It was funny thing is like
Hanging brain in basketball shorts on camera.
it was funny
So
as shit
funny.
too. Is like you would just like I didn't watch it, I listened to it, and you would just like mid sentence you would just hear like bong hits. You're like, fuck yeah, dude, this rips.
You just hear the crack of a bat, like a fucking bong rip.
Wait, who's ripping bongs? Mr. Doyle?
Jordan.
All of them,
Jordan.
all of them were.
But Jordan be
I love
like,
this dude.
yo, the Phillies, the sillies just, the side mouth,
Yeah.
like, yo, the sillies just
Yeah.
scored one.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
got Hoagie and side?
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a couple. He's like, yo, come do this podcast with this guy I do a podcast with. And I was like, yeah, all right, fine. And I just trashed the guy for liking the Misfits for like 2 hours.
And I was an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah.
I was
and he's like
dying.
He just talked about like AC/DC. I was like, yo, you're fucking 30. Why do you like AC/DC? You're a fucking like weirdo. And he was really just getting upset. And the thing that sucked, it was in his house. So it was getting kind of tense. And I was just like,
It was so good.
Was it like, did you go there? Or,
yeah.
Oh, so did he pick you up?
No,
too?
he did. He's like, I'll come get you. I
Oh,
was
that's
like,
right. I did do that.
Oh, okay.
because I was like, yo, I'd love to, but like,
yeah.
I'd have to take a bus to get there. And he's like, no, I'll just come get you. I was like,
Yeah,
all right, cool.
because you were on my way.
Yeah. And, because it was over in Ellesmere. And, you know, I'm not bragging. But, and yeah, I just trashed it. And like, I think like a couple months later, he's like, we should just do one. Because like, thank you for your services was going tits up. He's like, hey, just let's do a podcast.
Let's actually have fun. and
Yeah.
do a podcast.
And
Okay.
that's how that started.
So, I guess, Tom, did you know him before? Like, were you a fan of?
Wait, no.
Barry?
More importantly, wait.
Okay.
So when did you meet Mr. Doylestown for the first time?
Honestly, I'll tell you.
Was he just a
We played Doylestown, and his band at the time,
warp?
we had to follow them.
Fuck yeah.
Hardest follow
They're
of my
good.
musical
They were
career.
good, right?
War Pigs.
Yeah, you told me. to listen to them last-
Insane.
Yeah.
And it was the hardest follow.
I know. Yeah, I know.
And we've followed Trapped Under Ice in their heyday, and War Pigs was a harder follow. It was nuts.
in Doylestown.
Yeah, I was like, this
I
is
think
fucking great.
I think I played with him once at like Broad Street Ministry.
That intro, like the like that, I was like, yo, this is nuts. Because it was like when everybody was like dick riding, like locking out records type shit. And these dudes come out there with like these fucking just like
They're
wanky rock
like,
jams.
They're like, yo, we like Black Sabbath.
A
Though.
lot. And it was like this
They
fucking
did like a
rips.
Stooges cover too. I think.
Yes,
I believe so.
I believe so. Was it
It was on the EP, right?
I want to be your no, that's Iggy. That's an Iggy song, I think.
That's
I want to be your dog or whatever.
Stooges.
Yeah. Is it Stooges or Iggy?
Iggy was in the Stooges.
I know, but he also had a solo career.
Yeah, that
But
was Iggy.
I think I Want to Be Your Dog was a
Okay.
Stooges song originally.
I'll have to ask him,
I
but
think
yeah.
you're right.
It could be wrong.
Just like watching their reaction, it's like, and we're just like, oh, we got to go play mosh parts after this. Like, Jesus, fuck. And we did eat our dicks because all their friends bounced.
Now, because Tom, you're about, I guess, 10 years younger than us.
Not more.
Yeah, about that.
But, right, you know,
For me,
yeah,
at
more.
least.
Were you a Dead and Buried fan?
I was a casual.
Okay. You can say no.
Yeah,
I
you
never
say,
saw
don't
them.
fuck it. I don't
Oh,
give a
really?
shit
Okay.
about that.
I never saw them
I
because I
definitely
was too
saw
young.
them, but yeah, I wouldn't want to go myself.
I think I got a.
I know you didn't like it. I know he didn't like it.
In fact, it was somebody.
definitely saw you though.
It was
Yeah.
somebody in Crosscheck who put me onto him because they were like, "Yo, Tingle used to be in this band, and that band in Dead and Buried was better."
Huh?
Yeah.
And it was
Probably Anthony.
it was either Anthony or Fink who was who was like listening to Bear Witness. It's
No,
very-
Anthony
it's good.
from Crosscheck. Anthony Marinara Sauce. Mm-hmm. He was at a lot of our shows later. Like,
It was probably Ant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
towards the end of my tenure. I don't know what if he was around when Tingle took over singing,
He might have been.
but
But yeah, that's how I found
Yeah.
out about him.
So, okay, you're both from Delaware. Mm-hmm. Okay.
I just thought of the first really bad joke. I'm so happy I didn't say.
Why?
What are you waiting for?
why?
Yeah, you can be the, like.
fuck?
I
We
be
can
the
edit it out later.
I can be the straight man.
I'm
You
not
can be
ed-
like, good cop, bad. Like I said.
Yeah.
good cop.
Right, keep going.
Okay.
Oh man.
So you're both from Delaware. You're about, give or take, 10 years apart.
yeah.
Both from the same. Both of you are Newcastle.
Same general area.
Yeah.
Newcastle. So, but we're here. I don't know. This is Delaware. We're in, or are we in? PA?
Yeah, this is
We're close to
on
it.
the line.
Yeah,
We're in
yeah,
it.
yeah.
The
Basically
Shire.
on the line.
So
yeah.
I guess, Tom, how did you end up? Behind the curtain a little bit. How did you end up here, and
Well,
like in Hocassin?
Oh, this was
he grew up
this was my
way
grandma's
different
house.
place. Yeah,
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm asking Tom.
I'm sorry.
And I know you love to interrupt.
It's
but
true.
I don't.
That's
you know.
true.
There you go.
I'm from like right outside of Ellesmere, like the part of Wilmington, like right over the bridge.
So basically, if I would have kept going straight on 141,
You would have
know-
got to my house.
Yeah.
Do you know
I live-
Willow Run?
Yeah. No, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's where Chipper. lives.
I lived a street over.
Maybe I shouldn't have said that.
I lived a street over from Chip. Well, he doesn't live there anymore, apparently. But I lived a street over from him.
Okay.
Prince
So,
of
We rode the same bus in high school.
so as far as like household, parents.
Mom and dad,
Okay.
no siblings.
Really? You're an only child. I always. thought you-
I have a half sister, but
Yeah.
she was out of the house when I was a
doesn't
toddler.
count.
Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't. So You live here with your mom.
Mom.
Okay, so child of divorce or
Nope.
Oh,
My parents were never married.
oh,
Was your mom home?
I was born in sin.
okay. That's all right. Me too.
Sick.
We get mom in?
Fun Lair fact. My parents were also, I was in the womb when they got married.
Shotgun wedding.
Yeah, shotgun wedding, and then their honeymoon was in Disney World, and I was
Oh,
like,
sick, dude.
I was like, so you guys went on roller coasters?
But they're Disney roller coasters.
And my dad went, don't ask questions you don't want to answer.
And you wonder why Larry had to.
And I was like, yeah. All right.
Came out like, go, go.
How do you think Hoagie Mouth happens?
I'm a fucking baby and shit. It's like, damn, we shouldn't have gone on Thunder Mountain.
Thunder Mountain.
Space
Done.
Mountain.
Oh, space,
now-
my bad.
No, Thunder Mountain's
Is that a
the
thing,
funnier
too?
one. Thunder Mountain's the shittier version.
You're here with your mom. You have a half sister. Your dad, I know, musician, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, and that's what his career, like that's what
Yep.
he does. Oh, that's pretty cool.
He's a professional musician, and his like job that he gets a paycheck from, he's a guitar tech. So it's still guitar akin.
Anybody cool or
Deep Purple.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Deep Purple. I must have Deep Purple.
But he's only worked originally for their guitar player Steve, and then wherever Steve would go, Dad would go.
Okay.
Classic
But
Steve.
but Steve left the band to take care of his sickly wife, and Purple liked him so much that they're like, "Yo, stay with us."
Cool.
And he was like, "Sure, we'll do that."
Now, half sister. She have kids. She older, younger.
She's 14 or 15 years older than me, and she's got 2 daughters.
So yeah, me and Dennis's age.
She's
Married?
she was born she was born 77.
Okay.
Oh, she's a granny to me.
Yeah. Little past her prime,
I'm
eh?
telling you, dude.
So one guy's girl gets sick, and then dad just kind of sneaks in and takes the spot
Who?
with Deep Purple.
Oh.
I mean,
Well, it's a little longer story than that, but yeah.
I mean,
She died of stomach cancer eventually. So he was like, "Yeah, I don't want to do a band anymore right now."
he was still like, yes.
Wait
like-
for this.
R.I.P.
For
But
now.
R.I.P. But what's up?
And then Dennis, same area, correct?
Yeah,
Newcastle.
yeah.
You have a older sister.
I do.
You have a mom that lives with you.
I do.
You have a father that lives down the beach.
I do.
Okay. Nieces, nephews, older sister. It's older sister, correct?
Yeah, she's going to be 50 next month.
Okay.
Damn.
Yeah.
And your dad still lives under the boardwalk?
Kinda.
Dude, there's no boardwalk in Delaware.
He lives in
No.
Dude, bullshit. It's paved. That's not a boardwalk.
it's kind of.
There's a spot or two. that
It's like
has
the
wood.
loosest
They're like,
definition
yeah,
of
we
boardwalk.
got dollies. And it's like,
I mean,
fuck.
No, it's
outta
gone.
he
here.
lives in
Oh, yeah, it is.
he
The
lives
sign
in
is gone.
He lives in Lewis.
Okay.
So
That's where our boy Danny just bought a house.
bootleg fucking Reho. Yeah, he stinks.
Yeah, it's
So-
the Rehoboth for
Now,
Lewis is the Rehoboth for Trumpers.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's so accurate.
That's very fucking accurate
That's
to my
so
family. Yes,
good.
it is. Yeah, it's fucking spot the goddamn on.
Wow.
nieces, nephews?
No.
No, nothing. Huh?
We are a very small family.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, are your parents still together, or is it they're together but they're not?
Yeah,
Okay.
but
No, like
Yeah.
I have that.
There's no
I
paperwork.
I get that.
no, but there's no paperwork to say that, they're apart.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that is something that because I know like your mom like moved back with like you all things you've
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
But like I said, like I feel like we don't. Tom, am I boring you?
No, I'm scribbling.
Okay.
If your family was going to get a 2-liter of cola in their heyday, what brand would it be?
It depends. My father.
We're going the top 2 though, right?
Yeah,
That's-
I mean, no, it doesn't have to be. Usually it's a Coke or Pepsi, but I was thinking about RC earlier.
I was going to
today,
say
which triggered
we
the question.
we would go RC.
My
Like,
old
what
man-
would be, see, my family was weird. Like, my dad had he probably bought $5 in Pepsi stock once. So every time we'd go out to eat, he'd be like, "Can't order Coke. I got stock in Pepsi." And
what
it
a
was and
fucking
Pepsi was
bad
just
pick on his. Grab one?
Although I think Pepsi's doing pretty good.
Yeah, but taste wise,
Not
No, taste wise, growing up, I always liked Coke. So it was weird for me because it's like I was taking money out of my dad's pocket, but I had to have Coke.
If you want soda talk,
but you're like, Dad, the soda fountain, I can't go get a Pepsi. What are you, nuts?
So,
if you want soda talk, Dr. Pepper has usurped Pepsi as the number 2 most popular soda in the world. Did you know that?
I would reach for a DP before I
See, I think, and
But who
Pause.
makes
It all-
that's still a Coke product though.
but it all comes down.
It isn't?
They're independent.
It all comes down to who is.
because they're typically if you go to like just say
They're usually with Coke,
yeah,
but they're not a
that's-
Coke product.
yeah.
That's why they're number 2 because they're just riding those coattails.
Well, aren't they on the soda fountain at the
Yes.
fast food with Coke products?
I'm not talking
Yeah.
shit. I like Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper
but
rips, dude.
They basically anywhere that's going to install Coke, you're going to have Dr. Pepper. So they're getting
Often.
that free ride.
Yeah.
How often do you guys drink soda?
I haven't had a
lot.
soda in 15 years.
Often.
Okay.
I can't do straight caffeine like that anymore. It blows right through my asshole.
Don't take this the wrong way.
Yeah, go ahead.
It is going to be rude.
No, it's fine. I got thick skin.
I feel like you're looking at me when you're saying that.
But it's
I'm
like it's fucked up. Like as a fat guy, like let you have soda, right? It sucks to be like a fat guy and not.
Well,
be
here's the
able to have
thing.
soda.
I had a stomach surgery, 2014, and I got stapled up, right? And ever since then, I can't drink caffeine because it basically you might as well pour it in the toilet and eliminate the middle.
I thought it was I always thought it had something to do with bubbles too, like beers and seltzer.
No, I
That's
still
what I
do.
thought.
I still do, like you can't like I can't chug seltzer, but I still drink it. But as soon as you take a sip, it's like burp, you're instantly burping. But I like all the coffee I drink is decaf.
really.
Yeah, I haven't had like full caffeinated coffee.
Pig would
Same-
have such a problem with that.
I don't blame him, but if your other option,
Why would you?
if your other option is no coffee, I'm going.
Like,
deep.
it's kind of like I mean, you were a coffee drinker previously.
Oh hell,
So
heavy.
it's like a habitual. It's
Heavy.
almost like a habitual.
Yes, it's like a what do you call it? It's like a safety blanket
Like
kind of.
when I quit smoking, if there was an option to get like just something that was just like almost, they have like 8 air vapes now.
Yeah.
Something for like the habit. I think it would have helped.
But if they had one that just looked like a straight cigarette, not a fucking Game Boy you're sucking on,
Yeah, exactly.
you'd probably be like, "Yo, well, hook me up."
Yeah, it's something
My,
on Terminator.
Yeah.
stock.
So yeah, I haven't had. But when I was a kid, my dad, whatever was brought in the house, he'd drink it. My mom, this is fucking disgusting, but this was her shit. It was the Gold can Pepsi, which I think is
Caffeine-free diet.
yes, that was her shit.
I also saw
Coke,
those.
well, Coke has the same.
So we
Yeah.
didn't have like growing up, we didn't really have real soda like that unless you went out.
I feel like
So-
I would have guessed your mom would have had Tab, like just tons.
No.
That's like a diet, right?
That was my grandmother's.
Was it
Yeah.
though?
It was Tab.
I don't
Tab and
Tab was like the first
RC.
diet, right?
yeah, it was.
Was it a diet or was it just a fad?
No, it was
No,
like-
it had like one of the weird sugars in it.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever.
yeah.
Like not
It was-
stevia, but the one, other one.
I do remember those Gold caffeine-free ones, the regular ones. So like,
What was the
taste?
fake
It had a
orange
good
juice?
taste.
Why can't I think of what it's called?
Orangina.
Tang?
Tang.
Oh.
Tang and Tab was what like.
But
in my
those
grandmother's house.
caffeine-free ones to me used to have a good taste to them. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was I was little and I saw a Gold can and I was like,
Yeah, you're like, yeah.
Well, this was the
special.
only soda I really knew unless I went out to a restaurant.
yeah.
So like I'd be chiefing those things back, but I remember I didn't really start fucking killing sodas. I started working at a Texaco, and you would just take whatever drink you wanted,
Happens to a lot of
dude.
men. Yeah.
And it was right around the time Pepsi Kona dropped, dude. And I was a hard coffee drinker back then.
That's the
so-
Pepsi with the coffee in it?
Yeah, I was killing those. Fucking
I was trying
things.
to tell my wife the other day an old skit that I remembered. It was remember Crystal Clear Pepsi?
Oh, the Crystal Gravy.
Yeah, Crystal
Yes,
Gravy. Yeah,
yes,
from
dude.
Saturday Night
Yeah.
Live. I was. She's like, "What do you mean gravy?" I was like they were like eating
Yeah.
a turkey at Thanksgiving. It was like thick
And it was clear, but it was still like
Oh,
thick.
Yeah, because that they were playing the same Van Halen song. The Van Halen song came on the radio, and I was like, "Is every time I hear this Van Halen song, I think of Crystal Pepsi, and then I go right to Crystal Gravy."
Yeah,
I thought Crystal Pepsi sucked.
Pepsi.
Pepsi. I thought
it
sucked.
was pretty bad.
Yeah, I thought.
And do you remember?
Fucking killed him,
There was
Blair.
also Pepsi Blue, which was like a fruit,
Yeah,
like
I didn't try
a
that.
mixed fruit flavor. It was just, ugh.
Pepsi still gets freaky with the little fruit additives now.
yeah.
I'm convinced those vending machines that he's talking about or whatever is like the pipes have like residue from like the flavors. Like I feel like it's
I
hard
wouldn't
to
doubt
even
it.
get like
They probably
fresh-
change them.
You think it's not going to have like 46 different fucking
Yeah.
pipes? It's going to be like maybe 3.
There was this really weird one that as a kid I remember it was only out for like 2 weeks and I liked it. It was called Coke 2 and it was I think it was like
Oh.
a purple and pink. Like,
Yeah.
Huh.
that was good.
I remember vanilla Coke, and I
Nah,
remember
never liked
sucking.
it.
Awful. I hate
Tried
vanilla
to
soda.
act like
anything.
it was good.
When I was really, really little, there was new Coke.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
Coke
yeah,
2 was
yeah.
like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was gross as fuck, dude. Even as a little kid, when like any kind of soda was your shit, I was still like, I guess I'll have milk. It's like-
You know, the people that like vanilla Pepsi or Coke, whatever, whoever,
Awful.
are the same people that like
guilty.
who think they like bring back
Voted
those
for
kick.
Kamala.
Yeah, the same them and the same people that bring back like all those weird Kit Kat flavors from Japan and try to act like they're good. Like, come on, dude, you really think I want a
I don't-
matcha green?
Like,
Get
I
away,
was
get
about
it.
to say that.
Yo,
people-
it's cucumbers.
Yeah,
It's like the same people,
dude.
It's the people that would go
Get
like
bent.
drive like fucking like 5 hours to get the last case of high C Ecto Cooler.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
You're like, yeah,
and
that
the new
shit's
ones
dog
suck.
shit.
Yeah,
It
Chris
sucks, dude.
Striegel.
Yeah. The new recipe is dog shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as. Yeah, when they changed the box, remember it was like an actual photo of the fruit
Yeah.
in the 80s.
That was
Once
when it
they
was good.
changed to the yellow background with the cartoon fruit,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it wasn't as good.
There's a
That
couple
was awesome.
things like I had a Capri Sun within recent years, and that shit sucked. I don't know.
Really?
There's
I
some
don't-
right there.
I don't know if they traded up, like changed their recipe, and then. But I think I even said this before.
I always spoke through
The one thing my
My retard shaking the kick in the
I never
shoulders
found
going
out
through.
about what are they called? What are those little peanut butter and jelly things called?
Uncrustables.
Because all my
Yeah.
friends with kids knew about them. Like, how did I not
Uncrustables.
know
But they
about
were rich kid shit back then.
them? Oh, I didn't have them growing
Like
up.
growing up, they were rich kid shit. They're expensive.
I would.
Yeah,
I would
there's too much,
scoff at
there's
them.
way too much jelly in them.
They're not expensive now.
Not enough people.
But back then, like that was like a fucking like you were a baller if you had Uncrustables in your house.
He made the Kamala joke like I didn't.
How dare he?
No, what made me think of that?
Yeah, no,
is,
it's a joke.
Obviously, I was like, what did I say? I guess something like maybe it was after the election or something when they found out that like Kennedy was gonna. There was something about.
John F.
Yeah, there's something about Uncrustables and like
Oh,
you know,
RFK.
Yeah,
RFK. There was
Okay,
something like
okay, yeah.
like something bad about him. I don't know what it was, but like I saw like my neighbor and the
I
kid,
declare
and they're like
Uncrustables
walking
illegal.
up the street, and it's like a little kid. She's excited. She's like, "We're going to the grocery store," you know. I'm like, "Oh, sick!" I was like, "You gonna get some Uncrustables?" To like a little kid, just trying to be a friendly neighbor.
Yeah.
The dad hit me with like, "No, we don't eat them." And I was like, "All right."
You're kind of like, all right, I'm just gonna go back to my yard here.
Was it that dude Ben I know?
Come on, Larry. What about
No one knows who the fuck Ben is. That could be a made up name.
And it's like that dude seriously like, okay, he's against Uncrustables. He could at least just like, oh yeah, we'll get something and just kind of like
it was
not.
a
But no, he
walking
had
by.
to shut it down
Right.
instantly. Like we would never.
No,
Like, fuck you.
I'm
weirdo.
zero fun.
Yeah.
It was like the one time I walked. I mean, this is so long ago. I don't remember what. It was probably during like BLM summer, but like a realtor. The
It's a sequel to Endless Summer.
BLM summer.
BLM
so like,
summer.
so a realtor went up my block.
This
It's
year,
a
it's
B.
good. It sounds
Well, now we have Brat Summer. Before that was BLM Summer.
BLM
It's
summer
just
was
like things are
2020.
going to change. Like we're really going to pick it up this year.
It's a BLM summer.
I mean, I said
Thank you.
BLM summer. Everyone thought 2020, right?
It's true. He's got
Yeah.
a point.
So anyway,
He's got a point.
BLM summer. A realtor is putting a little American flags up in everyone's like planners outside their row home on 12th Street. Boom, boom, boom. It probably has like a little realtor card that says, you know,
Do you guys
Tony
know
dipshit.
about Tony 12th Street or no?
oh God.
Don't give out his address. Don't give out his address.
Oh, Tony
Co-
12th Street.
Coney
Don't get-
12th Street?
Don't get me started on Tony 12th Street or realtors because then I'll really lose my shit.
I hate realtors.
But anyway, so they do it.
Except
Through
for
time, I
Except
guess,
for Mr. Doylestown.
Yeah, oh,
That's
yeah,
true. Sorry, Dion.
a couple days go by, people were pulling them out. There's a couple left on the street. I pay no mind to it. Walking outside with my dogs one day, and like some hipster chick is looking at my planner, like about ready to take a picture. I was like, "Can I help you?" And she's like, "Do you know who put these here?" I'm like, "No, but like, why do you care?" She's like, "I don't know. Well, who put them here? Who's putting these?" And it was just like,
You didn't hear me? Did you hear me say I don't fucking
yeah,
know?
it's like my
Dumbass.
house. So it's like, I don't think I even knew it was there until I saw her taking a picture of it. But it's like, what were you planning on doing? Like outing me on the internet for having an American flag in my planner? Like,
This patriot.
can you believe Tony 12th Street? He's got an American flag.
He loves his country of origin. Like, all right.
Oh man.
It's like, relax, lady.
It's an eye-catching pattern. There's nothing wrong with the
Right?
flag.
No, my buddy saw me code switch the other day. It was kind of embarrassing.
What's that mean?
You turned the lib on, did you?
Oh, this is. I don't codes.
Nah, he went-
I don't like
he
code
went-
switch one way.
Other way.
So like
He's put the red hat right
We
on.
walk into my favorite pizza place. Shout out Stogie Joe's.
Oh.
And there's like
It
this.
sounds good by
There's
the
this like old.
It's
There's
a great
an
name.
old head Italian DJ setting up because he's DJing
At a
there.
pizza stop?
Yeah, they go all.
Oh, that fucking rips, dude.
Oh shit!
All right. All right.
What happened?
It's
I don't
right
know.
there. You go.
So,
Oh boy.
Jesus Christ.
I walk in, see this, and I see the guy setting up. I just, in my mind, couldn't control. My mouth worked before my head did, and out of excitement, I just went, "Oh, Johnny Looch!" And that's the name of the guy. I don't even really know him like
That's
that.
fun to do with Italians, though.
Yeah, and he looked at me, and he's just the kind of guy. It was like instant, like that. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
And
it could go
You
the
got
other
real
way
mookie.
though.
Yeah, and then like I walk back to
my.
my table, and my friend's like, "What the fuck just happened?"
It could go the other way though, and he'd be like, "Who the fuck are you?
You can take the Dago out of Dago Town, but you.
You can't take the." Yeah.
No, I mean,
Johnny
like,
Looch.
yeah. It's just fun to do.
Yeah, I think
Like,
this
hey.
landed straight up.
Yeah. Fuck me. See, so what happened there was, Italians like to talk with their hands. And that's why, I got modelloed.
See, I'm like a quarter Italian.
Yeah.
I deny it.
It's like, I don't even have hands, bro. Now, as an Italian, you guys get angry about things. So I think you've got some.
Oh no, I've like I said,
I was going to segue, but somebody.
I'm back.
stepped on
on
Oh,
my meds.
sorry.
I'm back.
But
on
go,
my meds.
go ahead.
You're
Do
the
your
host, when
thing,
you
then
steer.
go.
No,
Yeah.
I'm no grudges.
Go
I'm
ahead.
like I said, I'm back.
Do you get a list there? Just
No, I have.
You got-
I have homework. It's the homework.
Man,
But listen.
talked all this.
I was.
Should I read?
What did I say?
Should I break the sacred vow and
No,
read
I'm
a group text?
You think I won't? I stand by every grudge I've ever
Well,
had. So
it
first,
sounds
we're
like to
gonna
me like you're fucking being squeamish about it.
I was
Damn.
trying to be polite.
I didn't know
and
Mike-
not
Gay.
fucking spiral and say thank God that fucking Mike Murrow's gonna save this pod.
I didn't know.
He really needs to be back.
Why
And
did
it's
we
like,
brought him on?
and it's like Jesus Christ.
I didn't know bicycles could
hate
go
Tom.
backwards.
Like, look
It's
at
true.
Tom. Just look at him.
He is hateable.
Thank God he has sunglasses on because I'm this little
off.
baby. I didn't want
off.
to do any of this, and
Do
now
it.
you started. This little baby is
You
like
won't do nothing.
knows I'm a diehard sports fan. I don't care if he isn't. Knows me and Larry are. Knows
I intentionally
knows
wore this.
I haven't had a job I haven't had a boss in 14 months. I rely
You have
on
a job though.
selling bootleg gear, and he hits me
Repurposed
up.
gear.
Oh, we still good to do the podcast at your house next week? And I immediately respond, it'd be best to postpone because Super Bowl Sunday, that would probably be the day of the parade.
And in your defense, it was the day of parade until weather pushed it
which
to
is a very fair. And even if
Friday.
it wasn't a parade, that week is like my 1 week of work. The
That
whole
I didn't
year,
know.
right?
I thought it was going to be on Thursday.
Yeah.
That even if it was on Thursday, I didn't want to have a podcast in my house that week anyway. It's crazy. I had people come in to stay with me,
Oh,
all kinds of stuff.
stuff that I wouldn't know otherwise.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Me saying, "Hey, the Eagles are in the Super Bowl Sunday, and if they win, there's going to be a parade that week." There's no podcast. That's it. Instead, he responds, "I hope they lose."
Now,
So I told Larry, it's like, listen, like I'm gonna fucking firebomb this dude's shed if they lose. Like I don't give a fuck. Like
now
who says that? I was like, who does that? And I was like, if they lose, does he realize how much time and effort I'm gonna put into hating him and talking shit to him to everybody? I was like, was that one text worth it?
Yes, it was.
well, look. All right, look. As a guy who's not a sports fan, but I did grow up with someone who loves sports. But if you're like, all right, the Eagles are in the Super Bowl, win or lose, that's Sunday, right? Super Bowl's always on a Sunday. Okay, so Monday you're available. That's what that would mean to me. Now, what I never take into into thought is the fact that like if they lose, you weirdos are fucking just like you shut down. The world is over for a solid week or two.
Yeah.
But like that doesn't make sense
Right.
to us who don't like sports.
So then you it
doesn't make
doesn't make
sense
sense.
to
You don't
us.
say.
It simply doesn't compute.
it's like, look,
Yeah, but you know what doesn't compute to me? A response like my little sister would write, I hope they lose. That doesn't, that like to me, that's like, that broke my brain.
I don't think Gabby would
I
do
literally
that.
told, no, Gabby would never do that.
You don't like silliness
You got
at
another
all?
sister?
I have an older sister who still wouldn't do it. But it was
Jesus
insane to
Christ.
me. Like,
Dude,
dude,
like rabbits.
dude, it's our whole life. And he's just like, I hope they lose. Cause he couldn't do the podcast in my basement.
If he would have said, hey, I'm going to say this to Anthony, I'd be like, no, it's Philadelphia sports. You got Philadelphia sports fans. Most sports fans are passionate, right? But Philadelphia is like a different level. You guys are fucking retarded, and it makes no sense. But you're just like, you got to be like, all right, it's not like a guy from Baltimore talking about the Ravens. It's a guy from Pennsylvania talking about the Phils. It's like, it's a completely different thing. Like, if he would have texted, like, Bennett and been like, I hope the fucking Orioles lose the World Series, he'd be like, fuck you, but whatever. Now, Philadelphia takes shit, like, in the Pennsylvania area, grab one of the shit, buddy. It just takes it to another level. Like,
It's also my, like,
it
I
is
told
also
Larry
your
this
job.
100
That's my
100
livelihood.
It's
Yeah,
my,
it's true.
it's
That's
like
my
the 10
livelihood.
days
You're
I'm going
talking
to work
about
really
that.
hard and make
Yeah.
most of my money for the whole
See, I didn't think about that
Like,
until
I was
just
hustling
now.
every day. Like,
Yeah,
selling
me either.
shit,
I didn't think
popping
about that
up.
till just now.
Well,
Yeah, since they won, you get to fucking eat off that for
Yeah.
a while, right?
But yeah, I had to fucking. It's a lot of risk.
When you
going
get a
into it.
fucking steak from Stogie Joe's, man.
I looked at it as Anthony being like, "Hey, I want you guys to start doing your podcast in my basement."
Yeah.
So, like, every once in a while, so you can get, because people don't.
That's what I thought.
It's mutually beneficial.
Because
Right.
yeah,
mutually
not only-
beneficial.
but also like I want this to grow for you,
Yeah,
and people don't want to drive to Delaware.
it's true. Yes, people act like Delaware's
And
the
then for
dark side of
somebody
the
to
moon,
be
yeah.
like, "I hope they lose," it's like you're kind of being a
I get
a
that, but
baby.
it's also like he's kind of got a
like. I
I don't
but
understand- Go ahead.
It came off
Go ahead.
like
But here's
Now
the thing.
I understand both sides of it.
But
a
here's
lot
the
better.
thing.
like
like-
that. That's how it came off. As a person that I have no,
You have no stake in
yeah,
it, right?
it came off that way to me.
But
Interesting. Okay.
see, I was like, okay, most people take that as a joke, but I've also known Anthony for a while.
Oh, I know it was a
That I'm
joke.
like-
I just wasn't. It
I'd also
wasn't the
know
right
that-
timing.
If you get like, if I make fun of him on a normal day, he's like, yeah, well, you're fucking fat. And it like, and we all have a good laugh and it's fine. But if you catch him on a day where he's just not having it,
Spiraling.
yeah, it's gonna like, he's not gonna say anything to you that day, but about like 6 months later, he's like, yeah, remember the other day when you said this, and you're like, oh, fuck, that's been boiling.
Well, good segue because the other
Yeah.
day I got in an
Wait,
art.
I got one more question for you on this topic.
Yeah.
Now, I also don't like sports. I don't understand sports fandom as to the level you guys do. How come do you think if I would have said the same thing, would you have taken it the same way? If I would have said, yo, I hope they fucking lose.
No, because I think I would have known the way Tom
He
said
had
it
known me
made
a
it
long
sound
time.
like he was being like a little baby brother, and it annoyed me.
Okay.
It sounded like a.
Well, you know, I'm like the fucking ancient
It
uncle.
sounded like it sounded like this. I hope they lose, and it got me mad.
I thought there was two of them in the room for 5 seconds. That was nuts.
It just rubbed me the wrong way. I was
Yeah.
like, fuck, dude.
See, this is the thing. You got to be an asshole 24 hours a day, and then people are like, "Oh, that's just Tom being
But
being
also,
Tom."
it was
Yeah.
like, dude, I'm riding high. Larry and I have been to all 3 playoff games. Everyone's happy. And I got this fucking guy who's like, text me, I hope they lose. I'm like,
Now, here's the thing: is like I make fun of people for going to parades as adults, but I did make fun of Larry for it because of one thing. He has 2 young sons.
yeah, we took his kids.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I would.
Pretty cool.
I mean, I didn't go to any. I haven't gone to any other.
If you
parade.
didn't have any children,
Never.
I would have been obnoxious to you. But you're like, "Oh, I'm taking Will and Xavier to the fair." I'm like, "All right, that's just
If
adorable."
Larry
That's a guy and his kids.
if Larry didn't come with the kids, I would have went to that parade.
Of course
It
you
was
would.
a block from my house. I would have went for 5 minutes. I hate big groups. I really
Yeah.
do. I went because of the kids. That was
I would have
fun.
called him and Mary for the rest of his life, but
I
he's
didn't go
like,
to the
he's
last
got
one.
kids, and like that's a big deal for kids that age too.
Nah, maybe
They don't give a fuck.
No. Xavier was catching tags because he knew that it was lawless at that point.
Oh,
Smart. He did it at the right time.
It was one of our mutual friends who is very much into graffiti, who hasn't done it in a long time, said Xavier was a bad influence on him because they caught tags together.
That's hilarious.
Like, yeah, he's our age. It was awesome.
That's so funny.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Graffiti was another thing you guys were into that I used to bug me back in the day. And
Still
it's not,
bugs me.
And it wasn't you in particular. It was some of the other people. Like some people, they would do graffiti and act like they're like these world-class criminals. Every picture, their shirts over their nose and shit. Like, no one's looking for you, you fucking weird ass kid from Delaware. But you guys,
no one's ever looking for me, but I disagree on that.
But a lot of like the people you hung out with, they weren't that bad. But the kids that looked up to your crew were obnoxious.
I think a bunch of them lived in my neighborhood, or some of them did.
I recently tried to reconnect with it and just spiraled. Just I had no. There's this whole group of like in their 20s like skater boys that are into it, and I'll be around
those are the
skate
worst
shop,
people.
And I lost my shit. It was like so. I never got real into graffiti. I was just always adjacent to it.
That's how I felt.
But it's just so funny. I start hanging around the skate shop
As you're trying
while I'm
to
not
do it.
working, and it's like I hear all these like kids are like talk about like people I know, like, oh, these fucking legends here, legends there. I'm like, what? And then I
like,
slowly
that's fucking Derek.
yeah,
You're like-
I slowly befriend a couple of them, and I'm like,
I know that dude's dead,
yeah.
but he was a dick.
Right, that dude was a fucking. Or in this state, it's like that kid was a fucking pillhead. Like,
it's true.
Fuck that kid.
Yeah. It's
Well,
like
yeah, it's a mix
pollination.
between like, yeah, a lot of times it's like I should bite my tongue when they're bringing up some people that I just know are pieces of shit.
Right.
Whatever, and half of them are dead, and I don't want to like say bad things about dead people. But,
Exactly.
But
Yes.
like, no, and then it was just like I was like I liked a lot of them. And I started taking them around, and then like when I would run into some of my older friends that would write graffiti, be very like, "Yo, this is my boy.
Yeah.
This is so and so," and they'd be all stoked. And then like when I'd go around their crew, they'd almost like they're big time me. Like I'm like, I'm fucking 40
I
whatever
hate
years, 40
that.
whatever years old. I'm only hanging around because I.
You brought them together, and then they
like,
cool guy you?
Yeah, now I'm like, you guys are cool guy me. I don't give a fuck what
Like,
any of you write.
That's one of the times you can pull the old head card and be like, brother, I was catching tags in the middle of the night before you were born.
Well,
That's
Go ahead.
It's the part too where I've talked to you about where like some of these kids. I said to you, I was like, what do they do when like with beef? Like
that's a good question.
I know he was like, nah, it doesn't exist anymore.
What?
What? I was like, they don't fight anymore.
No, and that's why I get really mad in text where it's like, I'm not a fighter, but I get to a point where I'm just like, I'm spazzing to the point like I want to fight, and it's very.
Well, dude, like
They get turned
every writer kid I ever knew didn't fucking say shit about beef. They would just go fuck somebody up.
Yeah.
yeah. Not the ones I know.
And if you saw if they saw each other, it was on
But
immediately.
then I just kind of lost. I lost my shit because like I know like people that wrote it and the situations that they were in. It's like a different world. Like for example, there's this like one dude that's been writing in Philly for so long, North Philly dude, like probably didn't make it out of high school, does crazy shit to survive, like an actual hustler in the sense.
Yeah.
And I got to listening to these fucking like white kids from the suburbs, which there is nothing wrong with, but
Yeah.
talk about that he doesn't spell his punchlines right, and spelling is spelling, and I'm like, is my brain gonna explode right
Half
now?
the words,
It's fucking
like, half
graffiti.
the graffiti tags aren't spelled
The
correctly.
dude is doing what he has to do to put food on the table.
Half
You
of
think
them
he
aren't
cares
even
about
real
spelling?
words.
Yeah.
Like that was the most like pampered white boy shit I ever heard, and I was like, all right, I'm not meshing with
I'm off. Yeah.
Well,
today's crowd.
we had a lot of guys that dick rode the people that you, like your crowd. They dick rode them. Like we would go all out to like Denny's to all of it, like a shitload of us to get food, and they would show up with their graffiti book. And you're like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
To do that in
Just
public
eat your
is so
mozzarella
corny.
sticks and shut the fuck up.
Like somebody read.
He's doing a bit right now. He's doing a bit.
Who was that a bit?
Is it?
What's the bit?
It's not the bit we talked about, but
Wait. What, so we were talking. Oh yeah. So
I don't get the bit. What's the bit?
I told him he should do that and do like a courtroom artist and sketch all of us,
Oh.
but really poorly.
I'll do that next.
But really poorly, like just stick figures instead of like that Go ahead, bud.
Well, no, you were
I
honest.
think he's writing the word.
I didn't realize you knew
Cock
my
is
mind that well, but I definitely like.
Yeah.
I hold grudges, but I also like.
I will say this though. This is really quick, but I was thinking about it the other day. Is like because you were always a guy that if you put Anthony in a room full of like 5 people and just he doesn't know
boy.
he doesn't
There it goes.
see it's not so fucking stupid. What is it? I do it all the time. But if you drop Anthony in a room full of like 6 strangers. He'll be like, yo, this guy's fucking cool as shit. He does this, and this. Like, I can drop you in a... And what I was thinking, like, how funny would it be if you were a soldier in, like, the Middle East? Like yo, it's like Poconos.
I don't think so.
Go do recon.
Yeah.
And he would come back like, yo, I met this kid, Keith Taliban. Yo, his
just
dad's
fast.
got the sickest DVD collection. It is fucking nuts, right? And they're like, yeah, but are they marching on our, like, where we are? He's like, I don't know about all that shit, but he's got all these old zines from the 80s and shit.
Well, I appreciate that because that's why I get mad because like I'm not very like I don't like to hang with a lot of people and but once it's all about like when you meet someone new and that's why I got kind of butthurt.
But you do try out new people. You're like, let me give this kid 5 minutes.
Yeah, and if you like, I don't care who you are. I'll be like, yo, this is so and so. This is Tonswell. He's into this. Da-da.
Yeah.
If the first inkling I get of a cool guy and I'm not getting the same kind of thing back to me, I'm out and I will make it my life's goal to hate you forever.
I've said it.
That's why me and you got along. Cause like right away you were like not too cool. Like
because like our groups of friends didn't hang out. And then you're like, yo, this kid's actually cool. Come over here. And like you would just introduce me to people and they were like, yeah. Like we always were like, because our groups of friends used to stare each other down at shows and shit, just cornball shit. And we're like, why? And you used to be like, nah, this guy's cool. And then like, but I just be funny as shit. You would just in like a war settings, like, yo, I met this Russian dude across the way there. he's got like vintage like Baltimore Orioles shit from like the 1940s or whatever. You're like, I guess it'd be the Baltimore Colts, wouldn't it?
That's funny that you brought that like when you were like, oh yeah, but I know how Anthony is like then he'll just like 6 months later or something that you didn't even remember you said. And,
sweetest boy ever, but
I was like,
don't fucking wrong him.
I started like
don't wrong him.
You know, Chipper, who's like one of my best buds. So like we're not. He was like a third party to a couple beats, and I was saying something, and I would like follow up with him like days later when I was still mad about something. He's like, "Man, look at you collecting ammo." I know how you fucking are. Just collecting ammo. You're just collecting ammo to unload it on somebody. But speaking of,
he could always come up with an anecdote.
I think last time I was on, I talked about how one of the dudes from BoySetsFire called me the other F word, the gay F word. Because I asked him, you know, why he was a Jets fan from Delaware.
That is weird.
It's a fair question.
So anyway,
that is weird.
So he called me that. Whatever. I talked about it.
It was the drummer.
Yeah. Oh, his name's Matt Krupansky.
So he called.
I didn't know if we did that. Or
I block him, but I screenshot the message and sit on it for 2 years. Eagles win the Super Bowl. Before I even celebrate, I screenshot it. I send them. I go, hey, remember when you called me a faggot? Go Birds, dickhead. Blocked him again.
You know what's funny as shit is that like, look, all right, you're obviously an Eagles fan, right? When the Eagles won, you were probably instantly like, holy shit, the Eagles won.
No.
Anthony's was like,
no.
Really?
It took a lot of time after.
I'm texting Matt Krupansky immediately.
Yeah, immediately. Not like, holy shit, yay. It's just like, oh, I got that screenshot still. I'm fucking this dude's day up.
just the fact, just because of the band, like it's just like I got
the singer that comes out of the closet every 4 days.
You gotta be
fucking ding dong.
I don't like using this word, but F word. You gotta be a real asshole.
You gotta be a real faggot.
Someone from BoySetsFire to call you a faggot.
Yeah.
So I took it as a pride. I took it as a badge of honor.
If you can get one of those fucking weirdos to fucking lower themselves down to drop the F slur, yeah, you've done something right with your life.
And anyway,
that band sucks.
Again,
balls.
I don't
literally,
him, but my other beef is as I'm not. I am an asshole. If you're not into the same stuff as me, it's very hard for me to communicate. But if you are, I can talk for hours.
Shout out Turbo.
I've spent my entire. We'll get there. I've spent my entire life doing what Dennis said, trying my best to bring people together, people that are in the weird shit,
showing them other new shit. Yeah.
Disgusted to read and see that article of Natasha Gray because it was so glaringly obvious that it's for attention and it's against every moral I have that came up in the punk and hardcore scene about a community. That to watch a person go from being gay to straight to gay to straight to married to kids, trans, back, each change clearly for personal attention and personal gain. That shit is corny as hell. I see right through it. Bullshit. I don't know. I think it's weird. I'm super fucking into everybody, trans, gay, whatever.
Suck what you want to suck.
It doesn't bother me, but just don't use it for your own personal gain. That shit is
to
corny.
Be happy in your own skin.
That shit is corny.
I think that Delawareans and this area guys have always known that guy's full of shit.
Yeah.
Like he's like, you know, all this shit while he's ripping lines off coffee tables. You're just like, we know this guy's full of shit. And the other guys like placate him, so they're kind of full of shit too. And he came out in the 90s, which, different time, and it was not as popular to be gay in the 90s.
You can still get knocked down.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
Newark, Delaware has always been somewhat progressive.
Hell yeah, dude.
So he came out, and everybody around him was like, all right, cool.
It wasn't enough, though. He didn't get the pop that he
Yeah,
wanted.
exactly. Precisely. He came out, he's like, I'm gay, everybody. And everybody's like, all right, man, cool. Well, we support you. And it's like almost like he looked around and was like, no one's going to say anything. We're like, nah, we're fucking fine with it. We don't care.
Now, I've heard. And
every 5 years, he tries it again to see if he's going to get the pop he wants.
So I know people in my very close inner circle that hate him with a passion. But it's all stuff that I've heard that I would never talk about, like alleged this and that, because that's just not fair. But
thank you.
It's regardless. I know people hate him a lot. My thing is nothing personal, nothing musical. It's just, to me as an outsider, I haven't seen that dude since probably after I was, I don't remember when I started. It doesn't matter. I can see right through it. And if I can see right through it, come on.
I think
it might be a little bit of, maybe he needs to be.
Dude, sounds lost.
Maybe he likes dicks. That's fine, right? But I think he's using that to disguise the fact that he's just an uninteresting, shitty person. So he's like, all right, well, if I'm gay, that's different, right? And the thing is, like, he did it in the 90s and in an area where no one cared. And then he tried it again multiple years. And hardcore scene, for the most part, is very accepting of gay people. And everybody's just like, yeah, we don't care. Like, we still like your band. We still like you.
Are you coming to the show or not?
Yeah. Like, do you want to go to get something to eat afterwards or not? And now he tried it again in let's say 2023. No one gives a fuck. You can be like, yo, I have sex with horses. Everybody's like, hey, man, let your freak flag fly. And he's never going to get the pop that he wants to make him feel good about himself. So fuck him. And he's always, and like, that's not my beef with him. He's just an asshole.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm sure. I mean,
that whole band's a bunch of assholes. And like, my main problem with them is they never really brought along other Delaware bands. They never puffed up Delaware. They just kind of would ride Snapcase's dick for a while, or they ride this band's dick for a while to get themselves ahead, but they never reached back and pulled anybody else up. They never did anything for Delaware itself, even though they're all from fucking Northeast Maryland, let's be honest.
Yeah, they thought they were going to get that pop in.
Yeah, and he didn't get it.
A lot changes in 1 mile.
But I'd say more shit about him, but he's got children.
Oh yeah, that's my thing. Like,
that's why I kind of
heard horrible
things
shit from people I know would make it up, but it's like whatever. That's not my business to tell. You look like an asshole when you read that article that I sent you guys. Like you look like Tom probably doesn't know him as a person. He's probably
known from Adam.
You didn't have any.
You could read that.
There you go.
You could probably read that article. Did he see the article? Was that article?
No, you sent it to me.
Okay, yeah,
I saw it.
You would just be the one. Yeah, you'd be like, this is bullshit.
Read it
It's easy to see through, right?
Bro.
It seems very grabby.
Yeah, it's just,
and it's just like
not for me.
It's his kids got to see all that shit, and it's not like, okay, tons of kids have found out one of their parents is gay later on in life, but it's like he's constantly doing that.
I don't even.
Even his kids are like, oh god,
I don't
damn
even.
dude.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that part. My whole thing
I'm
is
just waiting, bide my time. You know
For
I
what?
mean?
Till you can be gay.
Yeah,
I
true.
would-
My kids.
I wasn't even thinking.
As soon as X hits 18, you're just gonna be like, dicks.
Guess what I do?
Guess what I love?
I didn't even see that. See, I am progressive.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of like that's even like a thing with the kids. My thing is his kids got to see him on social media. Like no kid should have to see their parents have a questionable social media presence. Whether it's
well said.
Whether it's too far to the right or the left. Like,
Not
it's
only that,
weird.
like when my kids are like, "Yo, all my friends have this. I'm getting it." I'm like, "All right, see you guys.
Yeah.
I'm going. Like, I'm not gonna, like,
Yeah.
like I only
I'm
go
out. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like a dickhead.
But my
That's
problem
just
is
dickhead.
my only social media left is the business. I go on my personal like every once in a while, but it's really just the business. And
You
it's
just
like,
post the story that the business posted.
Yeah.
usually, yeah, you guys know the deal. But it's
That's what I was doing with mine when I started this pod. I was like, I don't really need
yeah.
this anymore.
But then it's hard for me because I do kind of try to do some funny stuff, whether it's like making fun of like chiefs who got arrested for, DUIs or domestic abuse. But I got to pull back like some of my like really hateful shit or like when I'm just being a hater on something. Like I wanted to post something the other day, like when I finally got some new hats made, I wanted to be like, now that every hipster in Philly has put out a whack one color Super Bowl design, should I start putting out new stuff or the good stuff? But it's like you can't post that. Like you're just trying to run a business. If someone read that, they're like, you're an asshole.
yeah, they don't like.
And also,
they don't
someone
love
was
that.
like, "Yo, can you find me like a Chiefs jersey?" Blah blah blah.
I
You'd
bet he
probably be
could.
like, "I'll give it a
Fuck
shot."
yeah, I got that shit.
I'll give it a shot.
I meant like
I'll give it a shot.
I meant like all the people that like another little fallout I had with the community that I was talking about earlier. Like all these kids that this sounds so gatekeepy and corny, but whatever, I'm going to say it. All these kids that didn't watch one game or like dudes like Tom that all of a sudden have a Super Bowl Eagle shirt. I'm like,
Oh, yeah,
no,
yeah.
bro, you're a sports fan all of a sudden. Like this is
Yeah.
how I'm making my money. Like,
Where were you for the years
Yeah,
that we were
where were you
losing?
when we were grinding?
Where were you in
yeah.
2007 when they lost the Super
Well, it's
Bowl?
like being a fan of a band. It's like, where were you when they were playing VFWs for 5 people?
yeah.
Yeah,
But
we
I
talk-
was
we talk
never
about
like
that.
that either.
Well, I mean, age could be a.
True.
I was not. I'm never like that, and that's the other thing. I'm never like that either. I hate it when like I recently met a bunch of like younger kids from around my. When I say younger, I mean like late 20s from around my area that live in South Philly, and like I never am like, where were you? I'm all excited to be like, yo, have you like every time I see him, have you checked like you said, have you checked
Yeah.
out this yet? Did you buy this record?
Yeah.
Yo, bring that zine I gave you last time. I'll trade. Like I get
Yeah,
excited
yeah.
about that. I hate when dudes are like, oh, you weren't there, you'll never understand. But it is a little bit different with like
Yeah.
the sports fandom. Like if Tom all of a sudden was like in my lane trying to sell Eagle shirts, I'd be like, yo, cuz. Like,
What are you doing?
What are you doing, dude?
Well, it's also like, do you remember like those kids, like the young, it was always like maybe a generation younger than you, no matter what age you are. When you're like, oh, you like this band? Hey, this is a band that influenced them. Check them out. And if they were open to it, you'd be like, oh yeah, cool. This kid, okay, I'm gonna show him other stuff to listen to. But there was always that one kid's like, oh yeah, I know about that. And you know damn well they don't. But they had to be like, they couldn't be like, oh hey, I'm new. They had to be like, oh, I'm knowledgeable. And like you're like, all right, dude. Yeah.
Yeah. That's
But what you're saying about sports though, we always call those front runners.
oh,
Like you
yeah.
didn't give a shit about the Eagles until they were winning.
But that's even a different thing.
Yeah.
Bandwagon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why do you think I love Tyler so much? It's like that's our relationship.
Because he's mysterious.
Our relationship was built on us just playing like, what are you listening to now? Oh, yo,
Yeah.
check this. And it's like it's fun to watch people like I had people doing that for me, and it's fun. Like Joey did it for me. It's fun to watch them.
Tingle was mine.
Yeah.
Was mine, kid.
That's how.
Oh, I thought you meant he should.
that's
He's my
actually
kid.
how Anthony and I met.
Aw.
What?
Freshman year of high school, we had first period together.
One of you had a T-shirt on and
Helmet.
Oh, wait, you guys
No,
went
no, no, no.
Catholic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I had Rancid and Helmet written on my book bag,
Half of that's cool.
and it was like, "Did you hear the first album, the self-titled?" I was like, "No, I've never heard," and he let me borrow it.
See?
No, yeah, that's how you make friends. That's just called being a
So I
human
was
being.
like, "Nah, I just know Let's Go." And
Like-
it's like, no, they had a first record.
Like I had done that with tons of people, right? Tingle was the first kid where I was like, have you ever heard of Stigmata? And he was like, no, what's that? And you're like, oh, if I got something to show you. And everything, like he was honest. He wasn't like, oh, of course I know who that is, blah, blah, blah. He was like, what's that? Or then he would come to you like the next show you'd see him. I'd be like, I listened. It was fucking great. What else you got? And you would come back the next show. I would make like tapes or CDRs for him. Like, here's a couple albums. Just go check these out.
That's crazy. So you basically trained him to take your job.
I know, right? In retrospect,
See, I was
not
gonna
the best
be-
idea. Not the best idea.
I was
at all.
going to have a little more couth in that question.
No,
But
Come on, that's
yeah,
a good
it's,
one.
I was
it's
going to be
pretty
like,
good.
hey, so
it's pretty good.
when he eventually, do you think?
Actually didn't get mad at him for that because he actually told me one day when I was still in the band, he's like, Dead and Buried is my favorite hardcore band. And I was like, first off, I was in the back of my head, I was like, dork. Because like, I know my band's not the greatest thing in the world. But then you're kind of like, oh, it's kind of sweet. So, well, like, I know that when I got kicked out, that those guys offered him the gig and they're like, do you want to sing for your favorite hardcore band? I'm like, I can't be mad about that.
Yeah,
And also,
I
you
can't
said
be mad
earlier,
about
like, oh, I know you didn't like us, but it's like, also, I was also always like, I look at it also as I keep saying also.
You're always in the more traditional
Yeah, but
stuff.
I see it more as a scene. So like, even though that Dead and Buried, like I consider it like metal beatdown. I don't know what.
Fair enough.
I would still go hang out and be part of the scene.
Oh, yeah.
I was more.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess more.
It was
like
more
the punk
social than
adjacent.
actually going to check out the
but
band.
I would
Yeah.
like the more punk adjacent.
Yeah.
Stuff. I think.
I talked to a 16-year-old, I guess, 2 weeks ago, and he was like, they're one of my favorite bands.
Dead and Buried?
Yeah.
16?
Yeah, the kid that sings for X Apathy X.
He's trying to.
Oh,
show
no
off.
shit.
He's trying to show off.
No.
You're
So
coming
my
off.
youngest son plays basketball with his little brother.
He's trying to one up.
This kid had a straight edge hat on. I was like, oh, hey, we could have a conversation.
Yeah.
And he was like,
I don't believe it.
and he was like, yeah, and kind of like blew me off. And his parents were like, oh, he's in a band. It's called this. And I checked it out, and I was like, this is cool. This sounds really good. And who's the kid that records in Delaware?
Wallaby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was like, we recorded there, and I approached him. I was like, hey, your parents told me about the demo. It's very good. He's like, oh, we recorded here, blah blah blah. I was like, oh, I need to get you on my friend's podcast.
Yeah.
And he-
yeah, definitely.
And I was like, oh, he was in Dead and Buried. He was like, I love Dead and Buried. I listen to him every day. And I was like, no one's ever said that. Literally,
That's 100%
no one's
true.
ever said that.
Even members of Dead and Buried who played our show every day.
But as far as Delaware goes,
Well,
Wait, hold up.
But-
Don't pull the fucking tapes here. No one's catching my drift. Am I losing my mind, or did I come on this podcast maybe like one of the last couple times?
I'm
and I
about
said-
to shit on Dead and Buried in 2
No,
seconds.
it has nothing to do with Dead and Buried. But Larry says he met a 16-year-old kid whose favorite band is Dead and Buried. But 2 or 3 podcasts ago, I said I met a 17-year-old kid whose favorite band was Joshua Fit for Battle. I think he's stealing my valor, dude.
He went
Pull the fucking tapes.
he went 1 year younger
He got creepier.
and 3 brain cells stupider.
I think they were at wrestling. We're at wrestling too.
But
the basketball.
Meet him on the street.
Basketball.
Meet him on the
We're
street
at
like a real
basketball.
man. Meet him on the street. Have no kids. Then see how weird it is.
I'm trying to outdo you on it.
so,
I apologize.
somebody
You had to go younger.
Yeah, I did.
somebody texted me a video.
He was 17, all right?
It
Does
was
that
at-
make you feel better?
Somebody texted me a YouTube video of
Yeah, I was at that show.
yeah, and they're like,
I didn't see that.
he was like, yo, check this out. And I was just like, who the fuck is this? And like somebody it was a band called Die With It. And I ended up messaging the person. I was like, can you give me, I was like, hey, I saw the video.
That was, didn't Tarnish do that?
Yeah, but I think this was like a side thing they were doing or something like that. But
That's Danny.
go ahead.
Never mind. It's Danny's daughter's.
No, the boyfriend.
Yeah.
It's this girl named Ava. I think her name was Ava's name. And somebody sent me to her. It's like, this is her thing. But that she didn't sing. It's like some friend of theirs sang it. And I was like, yo, I saw that cover. That fucking rips. Like, awesome. Like, I hope it does better for you than it did for us. And they were actually like super like respectful. I was like, holy shit. I thought young kids didn't give a fuck about us old. But what
And
I
you
was
were
saying,
like, hey, the next time you guys do it,
no, I don't know about all that.
Come
No,
and- come and pick me
it.
up.
Let them have it. But what I was going to shit on us is like, of course we're somebody's favorite Delaware band. At any given point, how many fucking bands did we have here? 3? If you were lucky? Those pickings are pretty goddamn slim.
as far as that time frame.
Yeah, like your choices are Dead and Buried, Joshua,
Woodland.
BoySetsFire.
Shout out my boy Sean.
Yeah, Sean rips, dude. I love
And,
Sean.
and
Walleye, my
and
favorite
Jamie.
Delaware band. Devil Dealer, and like all of that. You have like maybe 10 bands if you're lucky, and none of them really existed at the same time.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, of course you're slim pickings. If you're like Dead and Buried is my favorite band, and we're from New York, you're like, yeah, you're just a fucking asshole. Like, what are you talking about?
I mean, did the kid grow up in an orphanage?
Right? Without ears or eyes. Like he came out of a cave yesterday after being raised by wolves, and this is the first thing you heard. Oh God. So yeah, fuck BoySetsFire. They're not from Delaware.
It's so funny because it's like I don't care about them and don't need to actively hate them, but like when I got that article, I got mad and I thought, but then I thought it was definitely be funny to show my pettiness that I saved that for 2 years.
Is that the same person who moved to England and then came back with an accent?
Who?
No, this kid was actually Krapansky. Like
he's the original drummer. Yeah.
I was talking about the article, the person in the article. Somebody from BoySetsFire.
No, that's just the article. Nathan Natasha's the singer.
Somebody from BoySetsFire moved to England for a while, came back and had an accent. But like
I would not put that past Nathan.
But you live in Elkton, Maryland. You don't need you don't need to talk like that.
Yes.
The boy our boy we came
I don't know.
with he's in the band.
I don't know.
I don't know
That's
their
why I feel
bassist
bad
since Rob
shit.
Avery left.
Rob Avery was the bassist?
Rakus is the bassist.
When did Rob Avery play? After what?
No, he was like with I think the OG.
No, what's his
Daryl
name? Was Daryl.
Daryl was.
Straight Edge Jacket, Daryl.
Oh yeah, Daryl Hyde.
Yeah.
Daryl.
Yeah.
He was the first person.
And then Rob Avery.
But here's the thing: is like hardcore at large doesn't give a fuck about BoySetsFire now.
Oh wait, sorry to interrupt. If anyone knows where the Delaware Straight Edge band jacket is, please get in touch with Sweats on Instagram.
Is he still straight edge?
He's looking to track that down.
Is he still edge?
No, but him and Chris are
You go put it in like a
BFF,
fucking
and they're
glass case.
They've been putting together
I reached
that
out
Delaware music
yes,
history thing,
which I'm fucking all in for.
Yeah, it's all, and we also check out. I don't know if I still have the picture, but it's fun now because like those dudes get into weird rabbit holes like me, but now they're like super weird into the Delaware tip of like all. So they sent me some like I was watching some old Infection videos somehow the other day. Anyway, it was some shirt, but Chris was like, dude, we got to make it. It said the dude from Infection. It said Wilmington, Delaware, attitude capital of the world or something like that.
Huh.
I saw that.
Shirt. Yeah.
That's a great shirt.
And
It was the dude from Infection, I think, that had.
here's the thing: like Infection was like barely talked about when I was coming up because they were just because I came out in like '95. It was like when I first started really coming out of the house, but they were like done by like '86.
Yeah, maybe maybe a little later they did like that the video that they posted the other day was like they didn't even have enough songs to do an album, so they had like like the Darren J Tree crew all do like a rap track together. And stuff.
Yeah,
so, like that like filled the end of it.
The only person I know that kept doing music.
Wait, have you ever heard North Wilmington made the man? You never heard that?
It's fucking sad.
North Wilmington made the man.
One of the first bands I ever got into, Delaware band, was this. They weren't a hardcore band, but they're called Blacklight Rainbow. It used to be Mother's Nature's Black, but they shortened it eventually. Their guitar player, Sean Pierce, was the guitar player in Infection. And
he's got that's who they get all the info. He's on Instagram. He was like the Toilet Boys and
Toilet
shit,
Boys,
right?
yeah. I think he did that band D Generation, was like D hyphen Generation.
Yeah, get Sean Pierce on here. He'd be a great guest.
I think he lives in New York, so
we think he still lives here.
Really?
Or, I mean, I can get it. I can get you his info.
Do it.
Chris and Paul deal with him a lot.
I reached out to Chris to come on, and I just don't think he was into the idea.
Chris is not. I don't think Paul is. I think Paul would be good in this situation, but Chris is just. It's not his thing. Like,
yeah,
he's not the kind of guy that.
I didn't take offense to it or anything.
No, I mean, it's not that he wouldn't like it. I think he just would probably be like kind of shy. I think Tyler feels the same way.
Yeah,
certain people aren't comfortable.
Tyler's a weirdo. I love Tyler though, but Tyler was also another kid that like when he first started coming around, he wanted the old heads to show him stuff, and he didn't like come into with this arrogance of, oh, I already know everything. So
and
you're kind of like, none of the cut short kids did. Bill, Garrett, Tyler, none of them came in with that attitude. They were all pretty open to shit.
And why do you think Tyler's like killing it the way he's had the right attitude?
He's
since the
open.
beginning?
Yeah. Well, you have a question in your head. What is it?
I was going to ask about Cut Short because last week you guys talked
Yeah,
about
Bill.
it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill was here.
Bill was in it, but who else was in Cut Short? Because I know you talked about-
Total?
Yeah, so I know you. That's your best friend, Garrett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was best man at
He
his
was
wedding.
Garrett was also the original singer of Year of the Knife.
Okay.
The first guy.
Wait, does he kind of look like? Do you guys kind of look like you could be related?
Yeah, we used to get that a lot.
Yeah.
He's got a pointy nose and a bowl
You're
cut.
just like
And then Tyler took over as
Singer, yeah.
Yeah, when they kicked Garrett out.
Yeah. They kick. Okay.
Did he kick him out or did he quit?
They kicked him out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is their apt to do.
Didn't want to tour. Or
Which is their apt to do.
Couldn't tour because of his crazy school schedule, and allegedly there was like drama with his wife.
Okay.
Just
Yeah.
interpersonal bullshit
Yeah.
that had nothing to do with the
Garrett
band.
fucking rules.
Yeah.
He's a good boy.
Shout out Garrett.
Yeah. I love that guy.
He has a bowl cut pre 9/11.
Post 9/11 bowl cut.
I'm sorry, post 9/11 bowl cut.
And now he's like super into like German techno. He's fucking nuts, dude. He
That's
rips.
what's up.
He rips, dude. He fucking rips.
As far as
I
cut
don't know
short,
what those words mean.
as far
but
as cut
I'm
short
in.
goes, it was Tyler on drums, Bill on guitar, Ed Tweed playing bass, and Garrett sang the whole time. Ed Tweed eventually didn't play bass, and there was this kid Jared Birdseye, who I never.
I think
really
I
knew.
was out of Dead and Buried by this point.
So then Bill gets replaced by this kid Nick Carucci. I forgot. that
Nicky Carucci.
they
Nicky Carucci.
they were. I always forgot that they were a fucking 4-piece. I was like, wait, weren't you a
Yeah.
5-piece? They weren't. And then it was just all of them guys,
Okay.
and
Then it turned into.
they broke up.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
And then eventually it
I thought we were
became
talking about your.
other guys became part of Year of the Night.
Well,
Got it.
Cut Short's last show was at East End Cafe
Okay.
before it was Mojo Maine.
where Dead and Buried played their last show as well.
Right. And so Garrett is bored, like having been out of Cut Short for about a year at this time. I used to have the messages on my old Facebook in Messenger. 2011, Garrett was like, we should start a band. Because I played drums then, and he had Nick still. Nick wanted to write riffs. And him and Nick got together, and we needed a bass player, and we knew Brandon Watkins. And Brandon is like, he can write riffs on guitar, but he's a phenomenal bass player.
Okay.
Because
How hard is that?
As far as a good, that's pretty hard. As far as a solid bass.
because Brandon didn't just play like root notes like da-na-na-na. He played power chords
Okay.
on the bass, and he like
All the strings?
yeah, and he could like he just did it. He did a great job on that. So we were like, yeah, let's do that. We practiced in my bedroom at my old house, and Garrett was like, Year of the Knife 2012.
Huh.
That's what it's gonna. And or no, he said that to Matt. He said he told his plans to Max Davis, and Max messaged me out of the blue, why Year of the Knife 2012, and we started writing shit like that. So Garrett, Nick, Brandon, and myself started that band
Okay.
post Cut Short, because
but the first singer of Year of the Knife was
Garrett.
okay, and then okay,
Mm-hmm.
got it. Why didn't you stick around?
I was quietly kicked out of the band.
Oh
They did. You understand the term quiet quitting?
no.
They did the opposite. Well, quiet quitting is just you stop coming to work, or you come to work and you don't do a fucking thing.
Oh,
You clock in and you sit there, or you fucking
basically you just do nothing till they tell you.
exactly quiet quitting. They did the opposite of that to me, where they stopped texting me or telling me when practice was, and I stopped.
So
And I stopped coming.
got it.
So they were like, somebody in the band who played an instrument was like,
And he's still your best friend, huh?
he didn't do it. It was somebody who played an instrument in
Yeah.
the band, and they were like, I think we should try Tyler, because like I'm a good drummer, but Tyler is a fucking great drummer,
Yeah.
and they were like, let's use Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler's nuts.
So they started writing songs with Tyler. It never really went anywhere. They never like. Given this is all in like the span of like 2 years. The Year of the Knife demo I think was like 2013 or something.
Man, I've been out of it so long. I feel like that band got together like 10 years after I even paid attention.
Well, I think it was like their third show was your benefit.
It was early.
Yeah.
But you never played with them live.
No.
Okay.
Because the thing with like their ideas with Tyler and stuff kind of disbanded too. And when they wanted to form the band back together again, they hit me up because I was like, yo, that was fucking fucked up. And Tyler was starting to get busy with Agitator. So they were like, you know what? Let's try it again. And then the same thing happened. They quiet fired me again because
why would you do that twice?
Because I wanted to.
Yeah.
I wanted to write those songs. I wanted to play with them, and I wanted to write dark, heavy music like the first Year of the Knife record.
Buddy, I'll do that with you.
I would I would have made it my life's goal.
Tom,
Fuck,
a similar
get on
thing
that band.
happened. Go ahead.
I will do that with you.
Here's the thing. That's it. Like I was out at Dead and Buried in 2008, right? And I was kicked out. And then I think it was 2010, 2011. They did the final Dead and Buried show, and everybody was like, you got to have Dennis back. You can't do it with Tingle.
Right.
Tingle never recorded with him. So you got to have the guy who did all the records. So they brought me back to do the show at the East End that Cut Short played, actually.
I was there.
And afterwards, like,
They covered Bertha's Pain at that show.
no, they covered The Sickness.
I thought it was.
Dun, 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 dun,
You're right.
dun, yeah. But I was stoked. I was
You're right.
fucking stoked, dude. But I got drunk off peach moonshine that night too. But
Side note.
when we were
Random.
when we were practicing
So
to
random.
You guys ever heard of peach moonshine?
we got we started like it was peach cobbler moonshine, so I had like the cinnamon in it. It was nuts.
That sounds awful.
Yeah. But yeah,
sounds
but
like a headache.
it was free. It was a headache the next day. But all the guys in the band were like, "Hey, like this is fun. Let's do something like this again."
Always happens.
And I was like, "Hey, man, like I've kind of forgiven everybody. Let's kind of see what's going on here."
I'm gonna do better this time.
And then all of a sudden, Bottom Feeder started up, and it was everybody but me. I was like, "Oh, okay, I see what's going on here." But I also was like, "Hey, everybody's changed. We're all older by 2 whole fucking years." And I thought like everything was gonna be different this time around, and no, not at all. It's exactly the same. And then they stole my PA.
I didn't even get to the best part.
Go ahead.
After they kicked me out a second time.
They stole your drums.
No, they should be so lucky. Tyler still plays that fucking kit that he started with back then, just out of pure choice. But
Boy,
anyway,
they did you.
Anyway, so Tyler gets back on drums.
Yeah.
They enlist Kyle Holberg as second guitar.
Mm-hmm.
They record their demo,
Shout out Kyle, he listens.
and then the band starts.
Huh.
And then a couple years go by, and they kick Garrett out.
Uh-huh.
And then when Garrett got married, and I gave my best man speech. I said, "Hey guys, I'm the only person in this room who's been kicked out of Year of the Knife more times than Garrett." Fucking crushed. With a couple tables
Yeah.
of the kids who were in the know.
It's very
but I was
inside
like-
baseball, but for those 5 people, it was fucking killer.
I got a couple. Like,
But also, you got to figure that same thing happened to Tyler not long after.
it's true. So
Yeah.
everything does kind of come around, doesn't it?
It all boils down to the one person that still remains all these years later. You are a dick. Got anything else for us, boss?
No, I think
Do you want to get into homework, guys?
I had a list. I think I threw my notes away by accident.
It's all right.
By accident, on purpose.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to steer the
Accidentally
shit.
on purpose.
Do you want to steer the shit for this part, Larry? Since you,
Yeah. So we have a segment here that.
That Larry loves so
I
much.
love Larry.
No, I don't mind this one. This is usually what I skip to. So.
Oh.
Everybody else stops listening when this part comes up.
Except last week, so I couldn't.
Fair enough.
It was long.
Hey, they can't all be fucking killers, dude.
So we give each other homework and we review it. And how do you guys say it?
Each week, Tom and I assign each other a piece of music and a piece of comedy to report back on the following week.
Anthony and I.
Go ahead.
No.
Okay.
No.
And we also ask our guests to take part in this. Mm-hmm. And last week, we had Bill and Derek from Thrasher Thursdays. They brought us some stuff here, too. let's get into what Davis brought us. It was he started off with Chelsea Jade Soft Spot. Do you want to pull up your notes there, guy, before I start rattling off?
Sorry, I'm still doing the courtroom rendering.
Chelsea Jade Soft Spot is pretty short. Sounds like a lady singing all pretty to me and shit, but while I'm on hold. 5 out of 10. The singing is great. It's pretty. I love it. But like the music is just like, it seriously sounds like hold music when you call like Verizon. And it was just, there's like almost no drums. It was just kind of just.
I'm surprised by this review a little.
I really like the singing a lot. But the music, it was just kind of just like, it seriously sounded like on hold music or like the tutorial level of a video game. Fucking, yeah. The music just kind of took me out of it.
Damn.
Singing was beautiful.
I said it was Dennis album of the year 2022. I thought it fucking ruled. I'm showing this to anyone at any opportunity. It sounds a lot like a lot of things at once. A little Hyam, a little Grimes, a little Muna, a little Now. A lot of stuff I've assigned in the past kind of combined. Plus, it has a little bounce to it. I gave it a fucking 10. I loved it.
Ant?
No.
Bars.
I wrote, yes, 7 out of 10. Could be a little more upbeat instead of so mid-pace, but still awesome. Last track, Night Swimmer, was awesome. Ultimate playlist mix track to break it up. Like that's track number, like 5, 6.
Yeah.
Put her on a playlist for a chick and then, 2000s.
And then track 7 like kind of beefs it back up again.
Oh, yeah. I did a lot there.
That's when you throw Motorhead in.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I liked it, but like, I was like,
I definitely liked it, but I could definitely, like you said,
maybe I was also in the raw because it was like first thing in the morning. I was kind of like trying to like, if it was like a later in the day thing, maybe I don't like it different. You also brought us Amon Ra's Mass 2. Not as fleshed out as later releases, but still retains the heaviness and menace that the band's known for. Solid shit for people that smoke cigs, but it does get a bit repetitive. And I gave it a 7.5. I really, really like the later shit, but this one is good, but it's not as good as 7.5.
Is this what they call big room crusts?
No.
Or stadium crust.
Yeah.
You think?
No, definitely not stadium. Maybe big. I don't know. But definitely not stadium. Stadium was more like
Tragedy.
Yeah, From Ashes Rise, like produced crust.
I will say, no matter what venue it is, it's still going to smell, but there will be air conditioning.
Yeah.
Knowing what Dave's bands sounded like, this makes perfect sense. Bay, who was praying in Spanish, I don't know what she said because it was all fast, but it sounded pretty serious. There's a song called "From Birth to Grave." From shadow to light. The guitar player was sitting in the practice space noodling, as they do, and the bass player was like, "Kelly, are you ever going to play a different riff?" And he was all like, "Shut up, Martin, go play your bass while it's unplugged or while it's plugged in and no one else is playing anything," or something about it. And then they made it into an entire song, also 4.5 minutes before vocals kicked in. This is not for me, but it's not bad either. I would not listen to it again. It seems like it'd be up Dennis's alley. 3.5 out of 10.
Yeah.
If I could go, please.
Oh, yeah, sure.
My feeble mind only understood half of this. I didn't go to grad school. Heavy riffs were cool, good vocals. The other stuff was just pretentious. Speak English or get out of 10.
All right, Billy Milano.
That was for the pod.
That was fun. That was fun.
Yeah,
I liked it.
yeah.
I liked it.
It was a 5 out of 10 for me. Just what you said. I was like, yeah, we didn't need, the third track didn't need to be 4.5 minutes of just some dickhead noodling.
It was a riff.
Yeah.
The other side.
I
was way
didn't need
cooler.
that. Yeah.
It was.
It was fun. But like the heavy stuff, like,
Yeah.
especially when the vocals kicked in, didn't expect that.
They clearly know how to write heavy
Like-
parts.
it was
The
awesome.
later
More.
releases are
But
way more interesting.
The rest of it, I was like, nah, this,
Right. Like,
I don't-
write some more.
cool. I didn't go to school for art and history. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say if Tom hated it, like 3.5. I loved it. 7.5.
Get him.
What if I liked it?
Anything you like, I know I'd automatically hate.
Now we get on to
Bill.
who brought us. Now Now this is I know it's a little inside baseball, and forgive me for breaking the oath, but this was brought up in group text. Pissgrave's new album.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Murrow brought it up. I forgot about that.
Yo, the riffs are cool and all, but this is kind of boring, and the songs really start to blend together by track 4.
Wow.
Still give it a 5, but yeah, once you get to track 4, turn it off because you've heard the back half.
Damn, I have to disagree.
Well, then disagree.
The most coherent vocals I've heard so far of theirs. Honestly, I had no notes as I was listening to it, but I did forget that an album was on a couple times. It's not one-dimensional by any means, but I mean, albeit it is one thing. I listened to it 2 times in a row. I definitely prefer the B-side more as soon as you get to Dissident Amputator. There's some good variety on it too. Not every song sounds exactly the same despite being the same sound. The title track is great, 7 out of 10.
Dude, amputators do be dissident.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Man.
Amputators.
I didn't listen to it, but if Dennis doesn't like a 2025 Pissgrave album, there is no chance in hell I'll like it.
I just wrote, the group chat, and that's a no thank you out of 10. I put it.
I love
for like
words out of 10.
2 seconds. Like I was like,
Well, you're one of the first. You heard it before I heard it.
yeah, I was
You're
like,
kind
this
of-
isn't for me.
You're kind of allergic to that kind of music anyway.
I don't like. Yeah,
He's allergic
that's-
to
No.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, but when a band like that is good, Larry will say, "Hey,
Yeah.
Okay.
Like it was just.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
was this- I was like, this.
he is willing to step out of his
Now,
wheelhouse sometimes."
if he was at Johnny Brenda's when Miasmatic Necrosis played with him, he'd be like, "Yo, that band was good."
and honestly, that night, Pissgrave was fucking awesome.
Yeah, probably like live.
Yeah.
I would be like,
Nuts.
this is incredible.
Yeah.
Like
I've
the
definitely-
musicianship
yeah,
is
yeah.
just
But as far as like listen, nah, I'm
Yeah.
heard.
Now, also, even though it was his first night, shout out to Mike Murrow, who couldn't be here because his team is playing tonight. So the
last game, right?
He's got to cut. He's got to coach, dude. He's got to cook. He's got to coach.
No Sandusky.
No Sandusky. Whoa.
Oops.
What was that? I don't like that. Don't ever do that again. I don't like hand movement. No Paterno.
He's,
Actually,
he's on the wrong chair.
Yeah, sorry.
He's throwing him
Hold
off
on,
so bad.
I got you.
No Dusky.
He fucking did it too. I don't want to hear any shit.
So you think you're doing the right thing by going,
Yeah.
but then you trip over it.
It fucks
Because
you.
there's a whole fucking
You're like-
landmine of wires there, man.
I know I did what I did.
No, it's
I got
fine.
it.
The windscreen.
But you think like
And the whole notice stopped. And I'm like,
I'm being respectful here.
No,
and
he's
I'm
doing
going
fine.
to put it here.
He's doing fine.
And then I trip over it.
Yeah.
I get it.
And I'm already a lummox to begin with. Yeah.
What
Did
was
he
Mike's
make a
track?
fist like he was going to hit me like he wants to hit you? Or...
Like when daddy gets mad at mommy, like fucking white knuckles it. Mike brought us Head Splitters, Curse of Life. Solid Angry Punk jams.
Yeah.
But this is a very backloaded release.
Yeah, it is.
The first 4 to 5 tracks are just nothing but fast, and it's good. It's fine. It's great. But when like track 5 hits or like when track 6 starts, when they start like maybe ducking back into mid pace,
Yeah.
and really throwing in like, I hate to use the word, but groove in this, it's when it really fucking sings to me. 7 out of 10 record. Yeah, like the first, like I get it. You want to set the bar that we're like a badass punk band, but that back half of that record is so much better.
I agree.
I really liked it though.
Punk as shit from guitar tone, vocals, feel. This sounds like a Spike Jacket to me.
True.
If this is the band's first ever release, it'd be something I don't know.
Oh.
It'd be something
I don't
worth
think
bragging
it is.
about.
Okay.
Pretty sick, and it sounds like it could be early in their tenure. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about them. Track 9, Image, starts with a snare roll pattern. Always a bold move, but in that song, it paid off. They did a cool one. But also, that's by far my favorite track on the record. I thought it was damn good, and if it was on streaming, I'd listen to it over and over.
Yeah.
It's not on Spotify or nothing?
No,
Right,
I'm-
Bandcamp.
Is it static? Is it is that what's Static Shock? Who put that out? Beach Impediment? One of those?
No,
guys?
it's
I don't think
fuck.
so.
It's on the label's fucking Bandcamp. I'm blanking on it right now.
I don't think it's Beach Impediment though.
It's not Beach
Not Beat-
Impediment.
Definitely not Beat.
What's the other one called? Sorry State.
Yeah.
It might be Sorry State.
yeah.
I don't think it's that though either.
I'd listen to it again. Looking forward to what they do next. 7.5.
Yeah, that's like my wheelhouse. So exactly what Dennis says, but add points for the early punk songs instead of deduct.
I like.
No,
that.
I'm not. I'm saying it's great, but it gets
like
way better in that back half.
Yeah,
I like the later
knows
songs.
what I like that's it right there.
Yeah.
I like the later songs more, but I do like the first ones too.
Yeah.
This world ain't for you, Tom.
Are you listening to somebody else?
No, he just hears the negatives. 8 out of 10. Only gripe is it's gonna make my end of the year list. I guarantee.
No, I don't want Tom in this.
What
world.
doesn't make the end of the year list for you? It's just like 20 records long.
Yeah, but this will make the top 10 more.
All right, fair
likely. Only gripe is that none of these songs need to be over 2 minutes long. There were a couple
I think
that were like
they're like 206, 209.
No, a couple of them.
yeah.
A couple of them pushed 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't that only, and that's like the smallest. one.
Yeah.
Like, otherwise, if they were like, "Hey, these songs are just a minute and a half," I'm like 10 out of 10. Where I'm in.
Also, if we could, like, again, I'm kind of off podcasts, but if you could just start sending me every week every band that's brought up in homework, and then I can kind of pop in, whether it's like a Zoom or whatever, but when they have like domestic disputes, like domestic violence, I can keep everyone up to date on, hey, so and so brought this band up on this date. Unfortunately, beat the shit out of his girlfriend, and now and I keep that because it's
bad out there. Yes, it is.
Safe. It ain't safe.
Especially if you're a fucking boyfriend or girlfriend's in the fucking in a hardcore band right now.
Did you see that dude try to apologize?
Oh, God.
He was like, I'm Muslim, so I didn't do it.
Maybe,
like,
yeah.
Dude, honestly,
That's haram.
fucking bars, dude. That's the
That is
funniest, one of the
haram.
funniest excuses. It's like me saying like, yo, I work at NTB. I didn't do it.
That would be like me smacking someone and be like, I'm Italian.
Yeah.
My religion
Would an
has
Italian do this? Like, oh, well, wait a minute.
That was the illest response. I was like, I'm Muslim. I didn't fucking do that.
I talked to my mom.
Yeah.
She
Religion has never respected women.
But then
Yeah.
I saw
this doesn't count.
I saw the recent one, the recent dude that got canceled. He looked like he was up to some weird
How did
shit.
he
He
from
looked like
Soft Kill?
if Dennis shaved his head, got face tats.
Yeah.
Look just like.
Oh, that guy. It looked like a mugshot. That picture they posted, I was like,
I thought it was like young Paul Bearer or something. I was like, who's this fucking guy?
yeah, like 300 pounds lighter, Paul Bearer. Yeah.
I'm starting to get in there. I'm friendly with a few people that are in active bands and front people. I'm like, man,
Be careful.
I'm associated, right?
Yeah.
Risky business.
Yes,
these days.
sir.
Well,
Tyler might just start finger blasting homeless people.
What do you? No, that's
you're
fucking.
getting a text to cut
That's
that.
no. That's the episode title: Finger Blasting Homeless. Yo, all right, look. I'm just imagining someone just like, is this cool? Like what? People are mad about this?
Y'all go with this.
What? Is this gonna get me in trouble later on? It's like, dude, like, that guy is like sleeping on cardboard. Mike also brought us OK Lou Choke Enough. Cover was a disheveled A-cup queen on it. I think I know where this is headed. LOL, I was kind of right. Why are these disheveled A-cup queens so whimsical? If they got to a C-cup, would they instantly get an acoustic guitar and go super sad? Either way, I'm all in. 8 out of 10. I liked it. But you look at the cover, it's one of the people, like, you look at a cover, you're like, okay, I know where this is going. And you're right, and you're like, still like, it's still pretty good.
I didn't get around to this one.
Fair enough.
On paper, this should be a 10 out of 10 for me. I should love this. But I kept waiting for that beat to drop, and it never does.
True.
I got pump faked every time. Okay, Lou, I can't trust you. 7 out of 10.
Yo, fuck Lou, dude. Fuck Lou. Tom?
I said, oh, it's the second page. A little Grimes, a little Bjork.
Did he like his face?
Yeah.
It's a little Grimes, a little Bjork. Very Game Chops, giving Zelda soundtrack a lot of the time.
Which Zelda?
I don't know.
All the Zeldas.
It's the
Yeah,
first one.
all
It's
of them.
fucking sick.
Probably something to listen to while playing Zelda or something. But
That's what's up.
that soundtrack might be a smidge better. It doesn't blow my skirt up, but I do appreciate what it does do. I did like it more further through the album that I got. 5 out of 10.
Larold?
I gave it.
Oh, did you? Fuck me then. Fuck me in the mouth. Tommy brought me a comedian called Sammy Obeid. He gave me a special, and I
Wait,
looked.
you sent that?
Tommy sent it to me.
Did you send it to us?
It's on the thing we sent.
Oh, I missed it. Sorry.
Fair enough. The first thing I looked up the guy as like just Sammy Obeid comedian on YouTube, and it came up an hour and 45-minute special, and I was cursing Tom's name louder than I was like, that motherfucker thinks I got an hour and 45 minutes to contribute to a guy. Fuck him. But then I was like, oh wait, it's the wrong title, and I looked below that clip, and it was the 45-minute one Tom suggested. Sammy Obeid, Matter in a Safe Space.
Martyr
in a Safe Space. Sorry, spell check. Fuck me on that one. Thankful this is only 45 minutes compared to an hour and 40, but it's still bland as all get out. 2 out of 10. Now, look, I get like some shit just isn't my wheelhouse
Let him know.
comedy-wise, but this guy...
I like that you're writing cock.
But this guy wasn't doing well on the special. Like, the crowd wasn't really into it either. And you're just like, maybe you should be like, hey, the crowd kind of thinks this sucks. Maybe I shouldn't put this out. And the guy just said, fuck it, I'm doing it anyway.
And then some fucking dickhead recommends it to you.
Yeah.
God forbid.
Yeah. But yeah,
Dennis.
I thought, like, I didn't laugh at it. And I was just like, and he chuckles at his own jokes. And I was like, yeah, I'm not into this at all. I didn't like it.
Yeah, I wrote fell asleep.
He's drawing stink lines on me right now.
Fell asleep within 10 minutes, didn't laugh. Guy seems likable. He seems very likable, but I didn't laugh.
I'm likable too, but
Well,
you don't
that's
see
the
it.
So
sting.
it's a 1 out of 10.
That's the
like he
sting.
seems very likable.
Yeah.
It just
They talked
wasn't for me.
I think maybe it was at that comedy show I worked with some of the, but that's that thing right now where it's like there's a bunch of people that are like super funny on podcasts and they're like, you know, you love to listen to them every week, but it's a totally, how many podcasters or comedians you know, and then you watch their special, even like the 20-minute one.
A lot of them.
And you're like,
Chris the Stefano.
oof.
Yeah.
Incredible on a podcast.
Some
Yeah.
people are better at
Stand up,
conversation.
not for me.
Yeah.
B level, yeah.
Yeah,
You
not
have to have
for
a
me.
special, like, weird aura to be able to do that, too.
Yeah.
Like, DeStefano, it's not really my cup of tea, but he's definitely the kind of guy you throw in a room. And he's
I
gonna,
mean,
like,
his podcast is
It's fantastic.
it's one of my favorites.
But his specials are always like, oh, this is good.
He's one of the best guests on a
Yeah.
podcast.
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Have
but
you-
a
did
wow.
you-
shot out of a cannon.
Did you hear him on? Did you hear him on Harlan Highway?
Yeah.
That was.
It's
he-
insane that
on-
you guys both listen to a podcast. Is Harlan Highway Harlan from
Harlan Williams.
Harlan Williams.
you guys listen to Harlan Williams?
Don't block
It's
the.
hard to listen to that guy's podcast because he's so weird. When he's got good guests, it's really a fucking great podcast. Go ahead, Tom.
Standing right in front of the camera?
Yeah, it's just funny.
Whole
that's
lot
all.
of ass.
Oh, he brought me the new Andrew Schultz special.
Yep.
Life.
Yep.
Found on Netflix.
Yep.
He must have watched this the day before he assigned it because it came out. I think it came out the day before.
Thank you. This is for Morrow.
Okay. Andrew Schultz, Life. Opening joke about the Jets. Very funny. The gay doctor going, ew, yucky. I think Joe List had the finger your wife the whole time joke, but Andrew did have great tags on it.
Yeah.
I don't even suck dick. That's my mom's side of the family. Was really funny. Jerk off, flush, wait 60 seconds, then flush again because I was terrified my mom would go take a shit. And then 9 months later, I've had a retarded son brother. Was a great joke. God damn it, his half Wigger accent, though, sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, the more woman juice I injected into my wife, but what do you think happened to her demeanor, if you had to guess? Fucking great joke. Inject her with tea. Oh my God, I feel so rational. Do you want to hear a story with no unnecessary details? And good thing he ended on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Retards joke and not
Dude, that's
and-
good. You're telling the poor guy's whole special.
and
It's
not
fine.
and not that fucking cheese dick encouragement part. Sheesh. But I gave it a 5. It is the best thing I've seen of his so far. He is funny, but he still
He
does.
hasn't been showing it in the past few decades. Go ahead.
I wrote way better than I expected.
Yep.
Him touching his mustache the entire time.
Weird.
Was so distracting.
Snidely whiplash and like fucking, yeah.
He loves that he has that mustache.
All his nerd references: Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones. Loved it. Jerk off the memories like a serial killer. We got a friend like that.
His name's Dennis McGonigal.
To Tom's point, the encouragement part, I wrote, I imagine none of you teared up at the end because all of you count windows while driving past high rises.
I did.
Yeah. 9 out of 10, but also his, when he's doing the Latina accent and he slowly turns it into Pepe Le Pew and then goes back was so good. Sorry.
What?
Beer. But yeah, like I said it before.
9 out of 10. I don't like him. It was a great.
Yes. Oh, look at you.
So I'm gonna derail a quick.
What
second.
size they give you?
I got one thing to say real quick, then I'll let it.
I'm gonna talk about Andrew Schultz's thing.
He was a guy like I used to love like his podcast back in the day. It's definitely fallen off in recent years, and his last special was dog shit. So I was like, you know what? Just for old time's sakes, I'm gonna give this one a shot. I'm like, oh, it's still got his douche moments, but you're still like, all right, okay, he's actually going back into.
It's very relatable.
Is that a fucking Portishead rip?
It is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. What?
Fuck! I wish I was skinny. God damn it!
Never too late.
Where you been, buddy?
So to start things off, the Jets joke. So I saw Andrew's thing, I guess, a couple nights ago.
We're almost there.
Beer.
At the comedy event I was at, one of the comedians had that joke, which I'm sure is probably kind of common, but it started making me think about how they pick up stuff. Like I think it came the way he put it together. I think it was what's his name that was on here, which is awesome.
John. Yeah.
But like it was funny. Like his piece was something like, yeah, it would be like the California fires or the the Philly fentanyls or something like that. You don't become the New York Jets. Like, but I guess a lot of comedians have done that. I just that's all I could think about at the beginning when I saw it because I was trying to tell my wife like, yo, some dude did that joke. But
What's that called? Linear thinking or something?
Yes, that's exactly.
but here's my thing.
Or lateral thinking.
Sure. Yeah.
I was not gonna watch it until Larry texted me that he thought it was great, and then I was like, all right. And my wife had showed interest, so I was like, okay, we'll watch it. It didn't suck. It was funny. There's just something about him that just
that's understandable.
It's like, dude, that's just a dude that I know I probably couldn't get along with. For some weird fucking reason, I have no reason why, but
him just doing that.
oh yeah. Well, I think he usually has a longer mustache and a toothpick. He looked like he was going for a toothpick.
He did used to have a toothpick.
Yeah.
He used to do that a lot.
So, and then like that one line where he talked about carving the pumpkin really rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know why. I don't know if I was stoned. I was just like, ugh, that was weird.
Dude, the nurse at the thing.
Yeah, at the clinic.
So good.
But it was good. But here's the thing with
He's
him.
like, yeah, nah, we got rid of
If you have he had the Hitler haircut, he did it.
Mm-hmm. Well, he did it that was for a movie role. Okay. Yeah.
Was it?
What, for 2 years?
I don't know. Once you go Hitler haircut, it's tough to come back in my book. Also, it's really hard for me to take dudes like that seriously. Like
Hitler
I remember him
I'm just saying.
from like I think he used to be on like VH1 and like MTV shows.
Yeah, he did that.
To
Guy
me,
Code,
those
right?
are the lowest bottom barrel people in the world. And,
Yeah.
like, anyone that was on those shows, it's really, really hard for me to come around on.
That's fair.
Yeah, but a gig's a gig.
I know, and that's
when you're young.
I'm not saying I'm right. The shit that goes on in my head is not right, but it's hard for me to get over it.
Anthony, the shit that goes down in my head is not
Don't rile him up again.
7:56 p.m.
As a guy who's been a fan of him for a while, like, in the recent years, like his podcast and his last stand-up special, you're like, all right, he got fame, he got money, and it fucked up his comedy, and he stinks now.
Oh, bro, you been. Oh,
Damn, Andrew, calm down.
that's an Andrew Schultz podcast.
He's not wrong. When I was like, what is he doing? But then when he's like, oh yeah, it's a lot of knee grabbing.
when he grabbed you, I was like, oh, I know.
I seriously just got
right.
so nervous.
Yeah.
That something clicked in his head.
Like, did he stroke?
I was like, no. I was like,
that's the
holy
podcast.
shit! I got
Every clip I see is him half falling over and just smacking whoever's next to him.
He's not wrong.
And then I've seen him on Reddit, and I was like, oh, this looks I get deep. read it.
Yeah.
And everyone's always like, ever since he's like, guys,
Yeah.
ever since Andrew started taking Adderall, the pod.
Oh yeah, it's borderline fucking it is unwatchable now. But I was like, you know what, man, I'm gonna watch it. Let's just see what's up. And then like I was like, all right, that's pretty funny. All right, that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right, god damn it. But then he did have a little douche moment like towards the back end. But then he came back around with solid jokes. I'm like, all right, maybe there's hope for him yet. I'm still gonna I'm not gonna look forward to the next thing, but I will actually watch it.
I'm not gonna
instead of writing him off completely.
Yeah.
But I hated that he added in the shit with the personal shit with the wife.
Yeah,
I didn't like it. I love that he was happy. It's just not there.
I did kind of was like, oh, I did kind of.
Disagree. I'm glad.
I did kind of goof like that. I was like, oh, that's adorable.
That's just the diabolical hater that I am.
If he had ended it at that part,
I would
Fuck
zero.
you.
Yes.
I think
But-
that's why I got mad because I thought he was I calmed down when he told a few more jokes. 'Cause I was like, you're gonna bring this at the end, I'm furious.
yeah. Don't
Well,
fucking.
I
take
thought
it
it was going to end on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle joke.
That was good.
After, and I was, but
Yeah.
I need, dude,
I
like,
hate you.
everybody, come on.
Yeah, it's-
like,
It's not right. It's not. Yeah, it's not like the most revolutionary
yeah,
joke
yeah,
you've ever heard
yeah.
in your life. Yeah.
yeah.
But like I just know like you know you see guys like Shane Gillis on when obviously Shane's a superstar now, but I think it's pretty well known like when he doesn't
And
like
his
to be
girlfriend
bothered.
will tell you that.
What?
His
Oh, yeah.
girlfriend, the TikTok where she's like,
Oof.
I'm in a relationship with the international superstar.
Oh god.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
Oof.
But I'm just saying, like,
That pussy
he's-
better be good.
He's definitely. I don't know. You guys are gonna have to tip me off on this.
We will.
But like, I've seen clips of him on like the Burt tour where he's like, "Listen, don't be knocking on my door to wake me up in the morning." Like he doesn't want to.
Yeah.
And like seeing a guy like that, like on the Schultz podcast, like clips of like all these like goofball internet dudes being like, "Oh, gee, yo,
Yeah.
ow!" And
He made fun
he's
of
just
Schultz
like-
on his own podcast,
Yeah.
like brutally, and I was like, "That's fucking funny."
Yeah, because it's a
Rules.
whole bunch of wiggers. Dude. He's like, "Come on, where are we in?"
But yeah, I went.
And
I,
wait,
I went
sorry.
into it wanting to hate it, and I was like,
What race is he?
"Who? Andrew Schultz?
Jewish?
He's
No.
white.
No.
He's Scottish. He's white.
Scottish, Yeah, he's a white boy.
Because I do appreciate. I guess probably it's because he's from like growing up in New York and very
Yeah.
diverse culture, but I do appreciate him going at every race and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think people should be afraid. I think it's funny and it's done in like a tasteful way.
Early Schultz was so good.
Like the accents go a long way. Like I feel like people kind of stray away from like accents that aren't your race, but I thought he did it. Like I didn't think anything came off racist. I thought it was very.
He had one of the best sick Muslim jokes back in the day. It was so good. He's like, sick Muslims, the reason like they wear those bracelets on their arms is because they used to be a sheath and you would use them to protect you from a sword. Now you just lean it against the steering wheel when you're driving my Uber. And I was just like, fuck, that's good. He used to be fucking great. And he dropped it for a bit with that last dog shit he did. But the most recent one, I went into it hate watching and I was like, oh, nope, there it
Yeah,
is.
me too.
Yeah, there's what he used to be.
When you were saying what you were giving me for homework, I was like, is he really still on his flagrant apologist shit? And then
Yeah.
I watched it and I was like,
Yeah,
okay,
I was one of
it
those
was
guys like,
funny.
oh God, it's going to be good again one day. But even now, I've
what's
stopped-
apology? He did something that got in trouble.
no, just like me,
It's just,
like
it's been inexcusably bad.
for like 2 years, and I still like up until like the last 6 months, I would still listen to it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've only just seen like clips.
I was kind of like me, just like hoping that one day they would turn it around. And
That
it
show
just-
used to be great.
oh fuck yeah, it used to be fucking
Like
fantastic.
when they had the old studio, like
Yeah.
that era was great.
Even when they were down in Florida, it was great.
Yep.
But yeah, it's just not good now.
So what is homework? I never know what to bring. So
Great
I just made
question.
a list of stuff, random. Because I think is it supposed to be like a
So do we
music
know-
show?
Is it just one person next week? Because I think you
Is it?
told
One
me-
person.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, go nuts.
And I don't know the person, so
Yeah.
I'd like to give something maybe they would like or not.
Oh, I never gear anything.
He's a very open-minded guy. He likes everything.
My
Okay.
homework is whatever I'm doing right now, and you're gonna hear it.
All right.
No, I'm just saying. Like I don't care who's on next week. They
I do.
like it or don't.
Who wants to start?
I had the shit that gets sent to me. Pissgrave, the two that you refuse to even look at.
You gave me shit as soon as I sent the thing. You're like, yo, what's the homework? I sent it. You're like, really? I was like, all right, Jesus Christ, man. Just Fucking suck it up for 5 minutes, dude.
I did a good job.
You fuck. He's...
God.
Oh, what do we?
Yeah. Give your homework.
Somebody, please.
Oh, okay.
Lord of
all
Christ.
right. Let's start with music. I do 101 Dillinger 4 Midwestern songs of America. Is that it?
Yeah, I almost gave that out.
I like to see these two fucking incel shit on this.
You know what's weird is like they've been around forever, and I've never actually.
You're gonna hate it.
Really?
You think I like it?
This is the album. Like if you don't like this album, you don't like this band.
Really?
All right.
I've never
Right.
once listened to them ever.
That's.
I think this album.
All my friends like this band, but I just like that one band I never
This band was
took my time out.
This band was chosen because I have been texting Larry and some of the high school dudes about them recently, and I just knew for a fact driving up here that neither of you dudes had listened to them, so I thought it would be a good homework assignment.
It's good. Yeah.
Second, it's not really homework, but I did dig the shit that Kyle and Tyler put out, the Sixlet.
I listened to it.
for fans of like
Kyle Hallberg?
Mullen.
and Kyle.
Oh, Holberg is
Kyle.
in the band too. Yeah.
He's got a new. Yo.
It's called Sixlet. Sixlet. They have a band camp.
Demo.
Some Sunday Drive
Sunday
Records
Drive
is going to
Records.
put them out. If you were like me, who grew up on like the J Tree stuff, the softer J Tree stuff, it's in your wheelhouse.
Like it.
Oh, I love it.
I did ask them for some
Like
sort of
promise ring and
credit
shit?
because
Fuck yeah, dude.
I lent them Slint Records sometime last year, and then this demo comes out. They're still talking. I'm like, a little.
I've been bugging Kyle for years. Like, dude, pick up your guitar again, you dickhead.
Yeah, he's good. If you can get by him being unbearable to be around, he's a great, great guitarist.
He's a good boy.
He's a nice man.
He's a good boy. Yeah, sometimes he's a little much, but
No,
yeah,
I'm
he's
kidding.
a good boy.
So it no, I like it. I like him enough to say that I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Again, Mineral, Jimmy Eats World, that whole sort of world.
And Mullen is singing.
He is singing, which
Singing.
What?
and talking. Hence, like the slinty stuff. But yeah, I enjoyed
talks?
it. I think it's good. I put it on. It's like I have this weird thing. It's always been like this. And the only other person that ever brought it up was Joey Simpers once, where it's like, I don't know what it is, but it's like up just until recently, I really started listening to music that like my friends put out. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like a rude, weird thing to say, but I don't know what it is. It's like,
No, I get it.
It was like, oh, I knew you. It didn't hit me the same, but like since like the past couple of years, I've been a lot like every time my friend puts it out, even if they're like, yo, this is like neo folk industrial, I'm like, all right, I'm still gonna play it like to listen to. And I've actually the amount of cool stuff that I've heard is this stuff is awesome. All the stuff that Brian Louie's doing's got me excited, but I'm happy I'm starting to do it. Moving to record number 2, Staticlone put out a full length on Relapse. I know I brought the Flexi up, but this sound is it's so much more full. It's the first album in a long time I just ripped straight through.
Do you know what it's called?
It's called Better Living Through Static Vision. And it's really good. It's a lot fuller sounding, and the range is everything from like you definitely got like the Crust influence, but you got that like Leatherface, Motorhead, English kind of beat to it. It's sick. A lot of cool stuff with the intros and outros that I know took a lot of like painstakingly listening and finding the right stuff. And I think it sounds really good.
I do like it that it sounds like none of their previous bands.
Yeah, the song Alone in Philadelphia is really good.
I like that they're not just rehashing the same territory. I like that it's different.
It's awesome.
Yeah, and like again, there's a lot of good
I
stuff.
enjoy
in
it
the
quite a bit.
Just a quick little documentary. If this is something that I recommend for,
I think he knows what that word means.
it's under an hour.
Okay.
If you're stressed out, if you just want to kind of get your even keel, put on Alone in the Wilderness, old PBS doc with, I think it's Dick Proenneke. How do you say his name?
Proenneke. It's awesome.
It's if you're put it on when you're
No,
in bed.
hold on. This is something I want to know
Alone in the
about.
Wilderness. It's on
It's
PBS.
a guy that builds a cabin in the woods in Alaska.
So he was
cuts down
50 years old.
It's amazing.
50, and he decided he wanted to get a break from everyday life. So he flew. You have to take a puddle jumper to like in the Alaska lake. It's so remote where there's no other human life. Went there with just like a saw and a hammer, cut down trees, built the illest cabin. And I don't know how he filmed it because it was probably from the 60s or 70s. He probably just had a camera rolling in the distance.
Yeah.
But then you kind of got that old
And
PBS vibe behind it. Very
Now
relaxing.
it's like a historical monument.
God damn, that's like my out that I want in life is just to fucking
I
live.
love it. I saw it because I saw a clip of like some dude doing like a solo guitar show, and he was like playing it behind him, and I saw it like a night or two ago, and I was like, oh, I'm putting that on my list. I know it's not usual, but it's something to talk about.
God,
It's really as far.
Is it streaming somewhere? Do you know?
It should. I watch it. It should be on.
I don't. You
YouTube,
could probably
PBS.
watch it on clips on YouTube.
So I know Larry.
I own like I'll get it to you if you can't find it.
Yeah.
I definitely
The
own
book is
the
awesome.
documentary.
Is a book too?
He did. There's a book on it, but no, watch the documentary. I know that Larry knows this one, so it's not for him. It's more for you guys.
What's his name?
Dick? Dick?
Yeah.
Proenneke. Just start typing like Proe and it should.
Okay.
PBS. You'll find it.
Okay. Cool.
Just be careful looking up Dick P.
There's more.
So I
things
know
that
Larry
I
knows
know
this
about.
one, but I want you guys to check it out. I think it starts up in September. National Football League. It's on every Sunday.
Fucking, what is he doing?
Sorry, buddy.
Give it a
What is
go.
he doing?
Pick a team. Give it a
What is he
shot.
doing?
See what happens.
Yo, I ain't gonna lie. I used to pick like when you're younger and you pick your teams, I would pick whoever had the coolest looking gear. Like my baseball team when I was a kid was the Pirates, just because their hat was different than everybody else's.
Okay.
That's
next.
why when I was into hockey,
And my
I
guy was my Phillies guy was Andy Van Slyke, but Pirates I think it was Lamar Hoyt.
No, Phillies is Andy Van Slyke.
Yeah, that was my
Pirates
Phillies guy.
Von Hayes probably.
Pirates I think it was Lamar Hoyt.
No, Pirates was Andy Van Slyke.
Okay, then it's opposite.
Who's on first? Who?
Great.
The hat
Oh, wait.
was different. That's why I picked
gotta
them.
piss.
All right.
Come
So,
on.
Tom, I want you to bring your best jersey. Next time I'm on this podcast, I would like you to know which team looks the coolest just based off of their uniforms.
Calgary Flames.
Yeah, we're talking football, buddy. Do football.
That's the best sports team I can.
I'm going to shut up because I may have to leave, but for the rep, my last one's not a typical shout out, but it should be homework assignment. Check out my boy Turbo on Instagram. This is serious.
I'll have them on.
Modern day treasure hunters.
I'm gonna piss myself.
We're gonna have that.
My
in
boy
the-
Turbo.
Yeah, we'll have that. In
He's got the coolest shit. Spent the afternoon at his house yesterday watching some old 80s porn. Awesome, dude.
You did not tell any of us that part.
Larry, go piss, and I'll start homework.
He has 3 life-size ETs in his bedroom.
That's 3 too many.
I'm starting to worry.
That's why I love him because, like, look,
a picture of the vampire in his bedroom, and he's like, "Are you in Turbo's bedroom right now?"
Yeah.
I was like, "It's a Bela Lugosi
dude,
vampire."
I could come to you and say, "Hey, I got 3 life-size ETs. Do you want to see it?" And you'd be like, "You're a fucking weirdo. I don't want to talk to you." And be like,
Yes,
"Yeah,
I absolutely
want to
wanna
see
see
those
them.
fucking things." Tom, what do you got for me this week?
Let's see.
Then we'll get into.
We're doing
layer.
2. We're doing 2 because we got one guest.
Yeah,
right?
go nuts, dude. I don't care.
Okay. Well, I've been back listening to a lot more music lately because I've been kind of burnt out on comedy and podcasts.
Yeah.
So, but I'm going to give you a special and an album. Now that I think about it, good one.
Okay, thank you.
The comedy I'm going to give you is another short. Don't tell. The
Okay.
guy's name is Simon Fraser.
Fuck. Thought you were gonna
And-
say Lil Sass.
It's close, and the special is called Metric System.
Okay.
I don't know that it's a special, more of like a set, but whatever.
Okay, fine.
And recently, I got back into a big fucking Behemoth kick.
Okay. I think you probably Behemoth before.
I have not,
Okay.
but the 2004 album Demigod, I think, is a perfect record.
Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Behemoth.
Okay.
I think it's a clinic in this kind of music as far as sequencing an album.
Demigod's that's like a one word thing. It's not 2
Yeah, it
words.
is. It's one word.
Okay.
I agree
Like
with you.
if that album doesn't make you want to run through a wall Kool-Aid Man style, I don't know.
Well, I want to do that regardless of if music's playing or not.
Yeah.
Did anyone ever bring up what Earth Crisis did on the other side of that integrity split?
It sucks balls.
Oh.
That split is so fucking painful. I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
My turn.
Dude, you're good, right?
Are you done?
You finished?
I'm done. Pull that mic in closer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There you go.
So, springtime, It's coming. Pegboy. Pegboy.
Pegboy.
It's another band, same as Dillinger 4, that I was like, I've known about them for years. I just never actually sat and listened to them.
Never once.
A lot of people tell you strong reaction. I'm not going to. Cha-Cha D'Amour.
Cha-Cha.
CHA-CHA
Then D.
DAMORE. Big Pegboy guy. Spring.
Put on 4 while you're at it too. FORE.
And
Quit being
then,
bossy.
and then something I've been listening to a lot of, tagging on to Mr. Doylestown, this Sabrina Carpenter. I'm going to go Chaperone, The Rise and Fall of...
I think I gave him that before.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll let's do it again. I don't give a fuck.
I hate this man shit.
What do you got to get? Anything else, Larry?
No, that's it. No,
All right.
then there's just Pegboy if you did.
All right, cool.
If you already listened to Chaperone, sorry if you already did that.
I remember liking it.
I've been listening to it nuts.
I specifically remember you did not like the part that she rapped on.
Yeah, that was dumb as fuck.
She just talks about doing girl stuff the entire time. I thought you.
Who doesn't
liked
love
that.
doing
I
girl
just wanted
stuff?
to give you a boner. I'm sorry,
I constantly have a boner. It's just weird being old.
but don't do it again if you already did. I
Yeah.
apologize.
No, it's a good fucking recommendation. I have for you this week. This is an album I've loved for a long time, and I know I say don't bring your friends into this, but this
That's
guy's
like the rule.
but this guy's been dead for a while.
Oh well.
Does it count?
Yes.
All right, then I won't bring it in. I gave you one thing. It's a comedy special and nothing else this week.
Give him
Okay.
that guy.
Yeah, I mean, I want the dead.
NJ Bloodline, Be Afraid.
Okay, that's a good.
Enrique's been dead for a while. I think he kind of, yes, he's my friend, but I'm not helping him get new shows. And comedy-wise, this is my first favorite comedian. The first comedian that I was like, this is my guy. It's a guy named Dana Gould. I brought you an old special of his before, Funhouse. This is his new one called Perfectly Normal. It is available on YouTube. He's a Simpsons writer, and he's been around for fucking decades.
He's a legend
Yes.
to those who know.
That's all I got.
Thank you for coming out this week.
Oh.
Smash and subscribe.
New CMI album. Check it out. It sucks.
And patreon.com/IRRANDILL.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you. And
This is great.
I'm off to Ridley Park to pick up a giant soccer ball. Woo! Woo!
life in times of ant.
But you got
What do you
regular
wanna
size
say,
feet.
you know?
How you going to cook a big soccer ball with small feet?
No, I really am. I'm supposed.
Is that the Parlay head shirt? Hell yeah.
It's a good shirt. I had to order one.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I love you more than I can say. I love you twice as much tomorrow. Love you more than I can say. Oh, yeah, yeah. I miss you every single day. Why must my life be feel so long? I love you more than I can say. Thank you.